My head's in the clouds, can you bring me back down, boy? I need it. 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 Cali, 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 Kush, 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 Cali. Cali Kush, pase blanc, Cali Kush, quiero fumar, Cali Kush, dime na, 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 na. No to that lick, no to the mids, in my bag I am the Balenciaga sponsorship, we smoking blunts, don't pass no clip. My head's in the clouds, can you bring me back down, boy? I need it. Girl, don't trip, take a hit, take a flight to Cali, 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 Kush, 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 Cali.
Fumo mari todo el día, creepy kush, todo el día. Prende Philly, llévame a la orilla. Playa, mujeres fumando. Mira, tírame blonny, son nalgas de mentira. Tan brinda, que chimba, colombiana linda. Siempre con los ojos rojos de Cali, con mi amiguita Mari.
My head's in the clouds, can you bring me back down, boy? I need it. My head's in the clouds, can you bring me back down, boy? I need it. Need it. Need it. Need it. Cali, 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 Kush.
Shout out to all of you wonderful gentlemen and some of you ladies that are out there watching Andre and Andre's Love Crossing Borders here tonight. We have a wonderful, and I mean a wonderful live stream and a special guest that will be here on this particular episode. I am proud, so proud of you men, whether it be black men, white men, Asian men, Latin men, that are taking advantage of travel, exploring opportunities on a global basis. Whether you're looking for a new country and new foods to enjoy, or whether you're looking for the love of your life, many of you guys have been taking advantage of your passports and discovering that you have one thing that many men back in your home country don't realize. You've got options. And so it is also when it comes to careers. When it comes to careers, many men of color are discovering that they can go into tech. That means that you can go into cloud engineering or cybersecurity or other aspects of tech and be able to make good money and be able to relocate to whatever country or countries that you desire to be in. So we're going to talk about that, because after black men are getting tech and discovering travel, you're realizing you're getting different treatment. You're realizing that you can be around quality, fit, feminine women that support you. You can be around cultures that believe in the same thing that you believe in. You can be around people that enjoy foods that are healthy, that you enjoy. You're discovering treatment. So we're going to talk about that tonight here on Andre and Andre's Love Crossing Borders. We're just here to encourage all you guys that are in Theo's classes and those that are already in the tech industry, just to encourage you and let you know we see all the hard work that you guys have been putting in regarding your classwork, in regard getting your certification, in regards getting hired on jobs. whatever it may be in the tech industry, Black men are finally waking up and taking advantage of the opportunity and realizing being in tech, it is a hard road ahead or journey ahead, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible for us to do. So shout out to all you guys that are out there. Let's get some intro music going. Shout out to you guys. Let's get the intros going as well. Give me a split second to get all this done and set up for us, guys. There we go. Get that intro music going, Andre. What are you doing? There you go. We got 50 people in the building. Click that like button. We like you. We really do. Make sure that you like us too. Cologne of the night, gentlemen, is I just pulled out Creed Arofo. Creed Arofo. That's the cologne of the night this evening. It is a clean sea salt type of scent. To me personally, it is nothing but a light version of Millisone Imperial by Creed. This one you can definitely smell the sea salt. It is definitely a sea salt scent. This one is like a lighter version of that. So if you don't want the sea salt to be as strong, which is still a good scent, you have this one that's kind of a little toned down. And a lot of people don't know about Arofo. They know about Millisome Imperial, but they don't know too much about Arofo. And so this is the cologne of the night that I'm wearing this evening. Shout out to all you guys and all you frag heads, meaning fragrance guys. Shout out to all you frag heads that are out there. And shout out to my man Tevin King being the first one to support the channel with a $10 super sticker. Appreciate you, brother. Really do. We appreciate all that you guys do by way of supporting the channel. Make sure you guys support the channel tonight by way of PayPal, Cash App, and Super Chat. We will continue to invest the money wisely. Shout out to all you guys that are here. We got 59 in the building already. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to have a good one tonight. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me get to these shout outs. Roll back up and see who was here first. Shout out to Poor Man 313 #1. Shout out to Poor Man.
You better back the fuck up out my face, goddammit. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Don't play with me.
Shout out to them Detroit boys. You know how we get and you know how we act in public. Get it together, Detroit. Get it together. Shout out to you. And shout out to our second sponsor of the night. Once again, Tevin King thus far. He says support Black male media. Yes, sir. I love supporting and I love getting support. I kid you not, I love receiving the support, the blessings that you guys give. But there's a lot of channels that we support on a regular basis by memberships, by super chat, by cash apps. There's a lot of black channels that we support behind the scenes as well. So shout out to all you guys because we support Black male media. So should you. If we got 64 in the building, shout out to all you brethren once again that are here. I love it. I was kind of worried because this stream was going to be so late, but then I also realized this. I knew guys had Theo's classes, so I wanted to push this particular episode back a little further. I promise you guys, this live stream tonight, and Theo's special guest is going to join us in a little while. This is a very important, encouraging stream. If you're a guy that's thinking about getting off into tech, I promise you, after this live stream, and we've done others, you will really be encouraged to get your classwork done, to get your certifications completed, to do the job interviews, to do the dev ops as well as the speech ops, do all the things that you need to do to accomplish the goal of really being solidified in the tech industry. After this live stream, I promise you, you will thank us. And this live stream, once it's done, it will be going directly to the Patreon because it is really, there's a lot of information out there that a lot of us that are, so busy doing homework with Theo that we don't realize that there's a lot of wonderful things taking place in tech, especially for men of color. So, and especially for Americans. So let's get ready to rumble in regards to that. Let's scroll back up. Poor Man 313. And we got my man Anthony V in the building. What up, though? Them Detroit boys. What up, though? Shout out to my man David Dice in the building. Up. The Dice family. He said the family, Andrea, chat. What's good, fellas? We're having a great evening, gentlemen. Having a great evening. I've been looking forward to this particular live stream. I really have. Shout out to you guys. Now, I won't have time to do all the intros, so I'm just going to do the top 10. Okay, the guys that were here first. Unless you put in a super chat or something, I'm just going to do the top 10 because it's so late, and I don't want to be on here too long. And I know Theo has been so busy that we don't want to keep our special guests waiting too long. So I'm just going to do a 10, blame it on my head, not my heart. But realize, guys, this is a live stream that's very, very important. Shout out to my man, David Dice, once again. Shout out to my man, Kenny Peoples of Kenny Peoples Family. Shout out to you, brother, for being here. He say that's me in the near one day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to man, Jay Kaysen in the building. Glad that you're here. And our brother, good morning, kind sir. Our brother Ronin Travelers in the building. Glad that you're here. Make sure you drop the link to your channel, the Black Man's Travel, and to my man Fearless's channel. If you don't mind, drop the link to all three of your channels so guys can subscribe. Shout out to you and salute to you as well, kind sir. Salute to you as well. He say, to answer the question, we are absolutely crushing it overseas. He say all these areas for the ones that apply themselves. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. We've got a stream that I'm going to be doing tomorrow, and I'm going to take a few minutes out talking about a gentleman that came to Medellin. Y'all already know how this story going based on my face. Here's the kicker. Now, what's the use in having security at your hotel if you don't use security, guys? We're going to talk about this tomorrow. What's the use of having security at your hotel if you don't use security? This brother, security said, hey, her ID is fake, bruh. She can't come up in this Airbnb. What does this brother do? This is just over the last 48 hours. This brother leaves the security of his hotel. Me with the girl ain't been seen since. Everybody and his mama looking for him. What's the use of y'all having security at the front desk of your hotel if you don't use security at the front desk of your hotel? We're going to be talking about that tomorrow. Because this stupidity is running rampant, and this is not the season to be stupid in Colombia. I promise you, it's Christmas season. Shout out to my man, Richard Moore, the Moore family. Always a pleasure joining in. What's up, fam? What's up to you, Rich? We're having a great live stream tonight. We're about to get started in a few moments, and I'm going to get two more shout outs to my man, Bobby Coltrane. Salute to you of the Coltrane family. And shout out to my man, Volek being here, as well as the Southern Vegan LJ being in the building. So let's get started. I'm about to change the music over, and then I'm going to bring up our guest, our brother Theo Wolf and Chewbacca and the family. Let me change this music over, tone it down. Let's bring that down to about 7. And like I mentioned before, guys, this live stream is a live stream to encourage guys that are thinking about going into tech. The confusion of how you feel as a man when you first get off into it. All the thoughts that we have, they're going to be addressed today. Today is not about subnets. Today is not about binary. Today is not about, do you know the difference between GitHub, GitLab, GitBash? Today is not about that. You can sit back, enjoy your favorite tea, and be encouraged tonight. And know that you are doing the right thing and you're heading in the right direction. And this is what this live stream is about. To let you know that you are heading in the right direction. Let me break up our guest, who was just clearing his thoughts.
No, I was having fun. That's normal.
I never. Let me clear my thoughts.
Yeah, you kind of stunned me there. I was in the chat having my fun. Hey, how you guys doing tonight? Glad to be here.
We are doing great. I'm glad to see you here, Theo. We got 83 people in the building, man. And how I'm going to break this particular episode down so it doesn't come across as much as an interview. This live stream is going to be more reactionary. I want to hear your reaction after each segment. So some segments are 2 minutes, some segments are 4 minutes, and some segments are longer. I broke it down into 7 segments. So, and to let the guys know the segments that we're going to be speaking on today to keep you guys encouraged when it comes to tech is we're going to start off talking about opportunities. The second segment is going to be about travel and or relocation when you're in tech. The third one is how to get started in tech. So after each segment, Theo's going to give us his hypothesis or his experience. Number 4 is the hours and salary if you're in tech and you decide to go off into tech. Number 6, very important. Some of you guys have heard Theo talk and others talk about this, the interviewing process. We're going to see that. Number, I kind of skip past number 6 past number 5, but number 5 is age. Some of you guys wonder, am I too old to be in tech? Am I too old to do cloud engineering? Am I too old to be in other aspects of tech? We're going to talk about that. And then number 7, lastly, we're going to talk about the future of the career opportunities in tech. So we're going to talk about that with cloud engineering and things like that. You ready?
Great. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, let's do this.
All right.
It's been a long day with podcasts. Again, Obsidian's podcast today was killer. I loved it.
I know it was.
So yeah, he's there with Angry Man. I was totally happy about that. So
no, was he?
You didn't see it?
Yeah.
Angry Man was there. Angry Man was there for almost over an hour.
I would have loved to see those two together, man.
That was great. So I love that one. And then there's been others. BGS has been on fire recently. So then I just got done teaching AI SecOps. So now I'm with you. So yeah, it's been a long day.
All right, long day for Theo. Shout out to Black Nubian, the Canadian boys, for being here.
I told this guy where I was from. He said, "Oh, Canada."
And shout out to D-May with the shout out to you, brothers. He said, I'm almost there. He said, Dre, thank you for the kind words the other day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know exactly what you're talking about. About. Let's get ready to get started because, like I said, I don't want this one to run late or long. So we're just going to get to it. And I just want to hear what Theo's hypothesis is in regards to this. Let's bring up the video.
Sure.
You're the poorest country in the world.
Let me bring that back. He said America's going to be the poorest country in the world. He's going to give the reasons why.
America is going to be the poorest country in the world starting now. You're going to see the biggest crashes happening right now. So that's good for me because the price of gold and silver go up.
That's interesting because most people in India until the last decade have been migrating to the US, thinking that is where is the land of opportunity to pursue the great American dream. But over the last 2 years, we've seen an increasing number of people coming back in droves back to India because that's where they're seeing the opportunity. So that is a very interesting shift that I never thought would happen so quickly.
Trump's new H-1B visa fee costs more than what most Indian tech workers make in 2 years combined. Indian IT professionals built their American dreams on H-1B visas costing around $5,000. But Trump just raised the fee to $100,000, a 2,000% increase overnight. The pathway that created Silicon Valley's backbone just became financially impossible for most. India's $283 billion IT sector relied heavily on US talent mobility. But companies now face paying $100,000 per employee just for visa fees. Therefore, the economics of global talent deployment have completely collapsed. Major Indian IT firms like TCS, Infosys, Wipro built entire business models around H-1B workers. But this fee...
You want to stop, Theo?
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I like it. I like what we're hearing so far. This is good.
Okay. I'll continue.
Hike makes hiring local US talent potentially cheaper. Therefore, decades of outsourcing strategy needs complete recalibration. The ripple effects extend beyond tech, from Indian families planning US education to real estate investment back home. But alternative destinations like Canada, UK, and Australia suddenly become more attractive. Therefore, America's brain drain policy might accidentally become India's brain gain opportunity.
Did you know that Indians make up over 70% of all H-1B visa holders in America? They power the backbone of Silicon Valley, working at companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and thousands of startups. Now imagine if they suddenly stopped. Projects would stall, innovation would slow, and America's tech competitiveness would take a massive hit. The US economy could lose billions of dollars, while companies would face an immediate shortage of highly skilled talent. And it's not just tech. Indians on H-1Bs also work in healthcare, finance, and research, meaning critical sectors would feel the shock. Meanwhile, countries like Canada, the UK, and Australia would benefit, as Indian talent could easily shift there. For India, this brain drain would reverse, bringing thousands of skilled workers back home, boosting startups and innovation.
Trump's $100,000 H-1B fee is crushing dreams for Indians. But China launched its K visa on October 1st with zero employer sponsorship requirements. Therefore, the global talent war just shifted dramatically eastward.
Okay, before we go any further, I saw you make an expression in regards to China and their visa. Let's see what you have to say about that. I've got two areas that I want to hear what you had to say.
This is bunk. Straight out. This is, as I say in my class, we talk about fear, uncertainty, and doubt. 100% this is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So the mass majority of Indian workers who come over with H-1B are very basic workers. They're basic Python, basic Java, like that. They're not doing anything advanced. I would say about 90% of them. The 10% who actually come over with superior skills that are very high level, companies will gladly pay $100,000 for their visa. So those are the Silicon Valleys. So that's not gonna stop. What is gonna stop is the competition with lower cost Indian workers versus American college graduates. And what we've seen are a lot of college graduates who cannot get a job 1 year, 2 years after graduating with a bachelor's or a master's of science in computer science. This is cuckoo talk. I mean, really, this decision was correct. So I very much say that what Trump said was correct. What we're going to have is just a bunch of like lower cost, lower skill Python, Java programmers who are sitting in India. Okay, cool. That's all it's going to be from a global point of view. I'm not worried about that. If they go to Canada, so be it. It'll just put additional price pressure on Canada, and they don't have more land. They're not expanding the land for housing, so they're just putting more people in per area, which will make the misery level in Canada just increase. So
So it's not like it's the best of the best that's actually going over there.
Right, exactly. It's not the best of the best. It's just a general. So the guys who can like do Python programming and Java programming and actually like do the programming for like SpaceX or something like that for a rocket, yeah, they still have $1 million salary and their company pays $100,000 a year for their visa. That's not an issue. They're not going anywhere.
There we go. And I was thinking the same thing. Let us continue. Now, when it comes to the next thing we're going to look at a part when it comes to the benefits, and I'm going to get to you guys super chats in a moment. I appreciate you guys. When it comes to the benefits of this shift, will it benefit any of us that are in this field of cloud, or doesn't even impact us?
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to run the script. Okay, it's incredibly beneficial for us because there'll be less competition. So already I've seen, like, again, one of my students, 2 days after the $100,000 fee was announced, one of my students got a job. And it's because the H-1B candidate wasn't viable anymore. And so he was number 2 to get the job, and he got a job for $145,000. So that was great for him, right? He didn't have to worry about competition from an Indian H-1B. So I don't have any problem with that. It's the real thing is how many of these H-1Bs are not going to get their visas renewed, or they're just not going to feel like accepted and they're going to go back to India. That's going to be a number of people, and so that's going to open up a lot more opportunities for Americans who have actually gone through the university system, or they're just local domestic like we have with the class, and that'll just open up more doors for them to find labor, which I think is great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was thinking the exact same thing. That's why I put that segment as the intro there. I was thinking about the opportunities, because if you think about it, if you have someone that is making that you're paying from India or anywhere, that you're paying $140,000, but it's $100,000 to pay the visa, it's not, even if the visa is good for 2 or 10 years, sometimes it's not even worth the investment to keep that person when you have that same amount of talent here in the States that a person could take advantage of. And that's why I brought Theo up, guys. Once again, this particular live stream is to encourage you guys in your journey. Sometimes we get so focused on the studying part, which is so great, we don't realize to find out what's really rocking in the industry. So this episode is to let you guys know what's going on behind the scenes, the truths and the false, and Theo can correct us in regards to that.
Yeah. So I mean, you got a lot of guys going around talking about how like AI is going to take their job. And I always say, like, if you're really thinking that way, you probably don't know. You don't know your job in the first place. So that's why we never had that problem with AI with Indian engineers. So there'd be less Indian engineers in particular. And then, AI is taking its time. 95% of AI deployments fail at this current time. So they're not taking your job unless you're really basic.
Yeah.
Right. But if you're an engineer, an IT engineer, you shouldn't have any problem at all.
That's so true, Theo. Go ahead.
There's plenty of opportunity. It's just that people have FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And they listen to that first. And I'm like, shut up.
That's true. It's kind of funny that you would say that's toward the middle of the video. We'll in the fears section, we talk about the future of tech and the fears of tech. That segment is going to be coming up as well in segment number 7. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. Let's go back to the video. Good insight. Thank you, Theo. This is in regards to how important having a quality salary is in the United States. So to encourage you guys, I want you guys to listen to this. A lot of guys don't know this stat.
Would need to make $66 an hour.
Minimum wage.
Minimum wage. I want to scream.
How much would minimum wage need to be today to match the home buying power of boomers getting minimum wage in the 1970s?
My guess was $35. Okay, what's the answer?
$66.
That is diabolical.
My guess was also $35 or $33 or something.
So just imagine you guys need to make right now $66 an hour to make to equal the buying power of your grandparents. So I know that's crazy, and a lot of guys don't realize how important it is to be able to be in this particular industry.
Well, it reflects the bad fiscal policy of the U.S. government since the early 1970s. So they go off the gold standard, and then every time there's a financial crisis, they just inflate everything. So this is what we're seeing right now. So I was particularly irritated by this because when my salary hit $600,000 a year, at first it was great. I mean, I was buying stuff. I was really happy. And then I saw the inflation, and that knocked out by 2022, the end of 2022, it had knocked out about 20% of my buying power. And I was like, wait a minute, like I don't have 600,000 anymore. Like it's not the same. What? And then I saw the inflation going up, and I was like, oh, I'm sick of this. I want to leave the country. So it's going off the gold standard. It's using inflation to finance your budget, things like that. This is the problem.
All right. Thank you very much, Theo. Let's go get ready to go to the first segment. Segment number 1 is opportunities in tech. So let's look at some of the opportunities that are out there. This is going to be like a 4-minute segue, Theo, and then we're going to hear what you have to say afterwards. Unless you want to, at any point in time, you want me to stop the video, I will.
Sure.
Coding is going to end in the next 5 years.
I graduated from Seneca College and I have 1+ year of experience.
He started, for those of you guys that didn't understand his Indian accent, he said coding is going to come to an end the way that we see it in the next 5 years. Before we go any further, I want to hear what you have to say about that, Theo.
No, not at all. The amount of coding, refactoring, changing from platform to platform, all of that needs to be done, and that needs to be done in a certain context that AI cannot understand. The amount that's there is so staggering. There is no way AI will be doing this at least for the next 20 years. It's literally impossible. These people are cuckoo. Even just COBOL won't be impossible. So he's talking this way, man. I'm like, do you know what you're talking about? Because I see the code that they're doing in companies, and it's crazy. I mean, that's like saying, okay, if everything is perfect and the company systems are perfect and everything's in a pristine state, then yeah, we can get this code out from AI and it'll work no problem in 5 years. That's like you being in a marriage and thinking every day is going to be ultra perfect 100% with your wife.
Right.
Really? Like what? No. So what are they? No, it's not going to happen.
I already know.
No.
All right, let's continue on. Let's hear what else he has to say. Remember, we're in the section where they're talking about opportunities in cloud.
Working as a developer. From last 6 months, I've been applying for jobs, but I'm not getting any interview calls, so I'm not sure what am I doing.
What roles have you been applying?
Full stack developer and new grad or junior developer.
Okay, yeah, that is the reason, because
okay, am I gonna have to pause every time because you got so many gems to share? Okay, okay, Theo.
Okay, so for full stack,
the job offer, what is he doing wrong?
He's in a red ocean. He shouldn't be in full stack. So that in that area, there's a lot of competition. I mean, so if you have a Chinese developer in China using DeepSeek and just specially trained models, then you have a problem. Oh yeah, one person can actually do some damage. As long as that person knows what he's doing. If he's using AI as a tool, then the productivity level is going to be amazing. Still have to have a person, but an Indian would face competition. So that means you're Americans here. If you're in the States, you shouldn't be doing full stack. I always say to my students, you do full stack as a hobby. It's something that you would like to get money for in like 10 years, but you're probably not going to do it. Maybe we have students who do get money off of full stack, but they're seasoned engineers. They've been doing this for 15, 20 years, right? You coming in like that, that's not going to happen. So you need to go into another area.
And that's what he's going to encourage him to do. I want to hear what you had to say about that.
Yeah.
Currently in the market for software developers, the hiring is happening only for people with 5+ years of experience.
Mm-hmm.
Practically speaking, whatever a typical software developer develops, AI can give that code, right? Coding is going to end in the next 5 years. Developer jobs are like generate coding, pass the parameters, execute the code, generate executable, deploy it in somewhere, in some server or in a containerized platform. That's it. That's how coding is going to be in the future. I don't suggest you to go for security, nor DevOps, nor data analyst. Yeah, you can choose between data engineering and.
Now notice the two fields he says to go into, gentlemen. He says, after all that, he says, listen, if it were me, I would choose data engineering or cloud engineering, in which many of us are in school for.
Yeah, I will agree with that. So let me just pull out some books real quick, because I got my books out.
While you're doing that, I'm going to go. Okay, there we go. Let me bring this up.
So we're going to be, this will be next year, again, data engineering with Python.
Yes, sir.
And then data engineering with AWS right here. So this will be part of the book of what we're going to be doing for next year. Data engineering will be very much a part of the future. And I do security, so I'll be doing security within data engineering. That's going to continue on. For developers, you're always going to have some sort of bug inside the code that you have to go test and remediate again and again. So as long as you're able to troubleshoot, you will have a job in coding. But if you're just doing something very basic, like entirely basic, that you can find on Stack Overflow, oh yeah, you're in trouble. So you need to be doing more than that.
All right. Excellent point, Theo. Thank you very much for explaining that. Let's go back to the video in regards to the next segments.
Cloud engineering.
Okay. I got it.
Here's a job that's going to be in massive demand in 2025 and the years after. And let me tell you real quick, it's not AI. I mean, we see all the news about AI, so it's hard not to get influenced. But think about it. AI relies on data, and data needs storage, processing, and distribution. All of this happens in the cloud. Without cloud engineers, AI doesn't scale and companies lose millions. And right now, there's a massive skill gap, and that is an opportunity for you. So where do you start? I'd recommend this website, nextwork.org, where you can start learning cloud skills for free. Or
528,000 cloud jobs are open right now. 90% of job seekers won't even take advantage of it, and I'm going to talk about it. You know the easiest way to know the skills you need to land a role? Read the job description. It's all there for you.
Oh, I knew when I saw that part. I wanted to hear what you had to say. Read the job descriptions.
Yeah. So when people are asking like, what skills should they do in the future? I always say, where are your JDs? So aren't recruiters sending you JD with a job description? Because in the job description, you'll know what the market is doing. You'll know how the market is moving. And then you can ascertain what is your skill set and what is the market, what's the gap, and how soon can you clear that gap. So you want to get as many JDs as you possibly can. Now, right now I'm getting JDs, of course. I find most of the positions to be boring. So I'm not even interested in going into something else. But, you know, if I'm hungry or I want to super work, then I'm going to really follow those JDs and be increasing my skill set as fast as I can. I'm kind of fortunate right now in my area. So don't go around and saying I have students who think that the tech environment is still like reflective of tech needs 20 years ago. So they're going around saying like CCNA or basic CompTIA, or they're doing like front full stack, something like that. And I'm like, do you think it's 2005 or something? Do you think like Bush 2 is still a president? Like, what's going on? Like, who are you? Because that hasn't been necessary for a very long time. I almost never see that in a JD. It's always a high-level Cisco cert if it's networking. It's SAA for AWS. You got that's an architect associate. PCA for GCP. It's a security expert, architect expert for Azure. That's what they're looking for. And then the next one, of course, is going to be the data engineering, which is what I'm getting ready to start teaching inside the class. It's going to be rather critical. It's going to be kind of crazy next year. So that's the way the market really is moving, and it has to be in the cloud. But then a secondary, if you really want to get good at it, you want to go understand the traditional data center. So if you know them both, you are like a full-rounded cloud engineer, and you can actually really highly compete. Given that there's less H-1Bs in the market, this is like a paradise. It's one of the best markets I've seen so far.
All right. Let's continue on. I'm glad that you shared that, brother. I'm glad that you're here, Theo. I really am, to give us a little clarity beyond just a video.
The top 4 to 5 bullets on the job description are the skills that the recruiters can't and won't compromise on. Then they give you the exact tools and services the team uses, and then it shows you the projects you'll be expected to deliver. But here's the crazy part, though. Millions of people skip this step.
AWS Cloud.
Is that true, Theo?
Yeah, they totally skip it. They don't even. I see engineers with 5 to 10 years of experience trying to get a basic entry level IT job. And I'm looking at them like, are you an idiot? What's wrong with you? Like, no one is going to take you seriously. I mean, okay, that'd be like, okay, I have 2 master's degree, right? So after that, I want to get a job at McDonald's because I've been working minimum wage all the way through grad school. So now I graduated and now I want to work grad school. No, you don't do that. Well, I don't know, maybe you're in the middle of nowhere, but no, that's not your goal. But you have people who do this and they always try to go to a lower level job instead of pushing themselves to actually get a decent job. Now that's what I do in the class. I push you to actually get a decent job. That actually does pay 6 figures. So because most of these guys are going for lower level jobs, the Indians come in and say, we're hungry. We'll take those higher level jobs. Even though we're not qualified, we'll go and do what's necessary to get those jobs. So hats off to them, because then they go from nothing to pretty good. What we really need is the American engineer to have confidence and actually go for the higher level job. And that's what we're happy about, a lack of confidence. So now I'm like, hey, let's just go for it.
You guys heard it here first. When we get to the interview segment, you're going to hear a lot of what Theo is saying. These guys are going to say the exact same thing. Let's continue on. And I'm going to shut up a bit, let some things roll.
Engineer.
And how much money do you make per year doing this?
About like $155,000 plus compensation.
And how long you been doing this for?
Like 2 years.
And how did you get into this?
Yeah, so I was doing accounting before and I despised it. I was working like super long hours, like 10 to 12 hour days, and it was just a lot. So I decided to make that transition into tech, and I haven't looked back since.
I am a cloud engineer.
I am a cloud engineer.
How much do you make doing what you do?
$120K.
$120K a year.
And how many years of experience do you have total versus industry?
I've got 7.
I started in 2017, so I'm approaching 6 years.
How did you get into it? Like, what helped you?
Necessity. I did it when I was in college, and it just kind of evolved, and here I am.
Yeah, learning more about it from him showed me that I was capable of doing it, and it would be less stressful than what I was doing.
Any advice you would have for others interested in this?
Well, she said she learned from watching her husband being in it. And so she decided to do it.
But they're both underpaid, just so you know.
I was thinking that too, especially after 7 years. So that goes back to what that goes back to what you were saying about having confidence. The thing that's missing in blacks going forward is confidence.
Yeah, they should be at $365 a year with at least 20% bonus. That's what they should be at. They're you can see that they can do it. They're actually probably what can I say, reinforcing each other. So in that kind of situation, they should be way higher, and they're not.
I thought the same thing, Theo. I thought the same thing when I first saw it. Their video went viral, and we're going to look at the results of that going viral as well, a little later on.
Go for it.
Number 2, we're going to look at travel and relocation in tech. Some of the opportunities that you guys are looking forward to once you get your career and everything is started. How do you get involved in the travel after you've gotten involved in the tech?
When you're overseas with the overseas government contract, they pay for all your stuff. They pay for your living, your housing, your food, transportation, gas. You literally pay for nothing. Wow. And it's tax free up to $107,000 a year.
So you was not seeing taxes come out those bi-weekly checks?
Yeah.
Here's a day in the life of a 23-year-old millionaire software engineer working while traveling edition. Today we're in the south of France, and I started the day off with 4 hours of deep work coding a new feature. I got a villa with some of my millionaire friends, and we just took a break to play some dodgeball in the pool. We then went to a random cafe to do more work because no one was working at home. We then had dinner reserved in Monaco, so we just took a helicopter to get there. We had dinner together, eating at a 5-star restaurant while sharing ideas with each other. And then I finished the day off helping my followers land coding jobs.
Better ingredients, better pizza, better bitches, better money, my clothes better, my shoes better. I work harder. Fuck Little Caesars, fuck Domino's.
This is a not so typical day in my life as a 27-year-old engineer working in tech. Today I'm headed to Brisbane, Australia to visit my company's headquarters. I had a layover in Dallas and, as they say, everything's bigger in Texas, including the Christmas decorations. And I ran into my coworker Dustin, whose flight got delayed. This is going to be my first time in Australia, and honestly I was having a bit of a pinch me moment when I got on the plane because growing up my family never traveled. This is the longest trip I've ever taken, and I hardly slept on the plane, so when I got off I was absolutely dying. My coworker said the best thing to do was to stay awake until the sun went down, so once I got to my hotel I went for a walk and stretched a little bit before heading into the office.
So you work remotely and you want to travel the world, but your company gave you a computer that looks like this. This is
this very common, Theo?
No, it's not. I haven't received a computer like this in at least 10 years.
Okay.
So yeah, normally it's a notebook.
Okay, cool.
I don't even know how to Optiplex 7070. Now, the thing about these computers is that they don't have HDMI. They have what is called a display port. Now, if your company provided you with this computer, they definitely provided you with some bulky screens that you can't really travel with. Now, the first thing you're going to do is go on Amazon and look up display port to HDMI. And if you're using two screens, get two adapters, one for each port. And honestly, it doesn't hurt to have a backup if you're going to be traveling outside the country. You never know if one of your adapters gets messed up and it might be a little bit more difficult to find. The next thing you want to do is you want to buy two portable screens that you can work with, or depending on where you're traveling with, you might have monitors or you might just be able to plug it into your TV. So depending on which portable monitor you decide to buy, some of them have mini HDMI and regular HDMI. So just take that into account when you're buying the HDMI cable. For example, I would buy two of these adapters, and if I bought that previous screen that I showed, I would buy one of these HDMI to mini HDMI cables. So the next thing we have to worry about is that this computer does not come with Wi-Fi. And I would recommend not adding any Wi-Fi dongles to your computer because the company might be able to track any devices that you add to your computer.
Is that true?
100% correct. Yeah, 100% correct. In fact, if you add a Wi-Fi dongle, that's going to be considered to be an external device. And if they have any decent security policy through Microsoft on your machine, it's gonna like flare up immediately that you're doing something that's illegal to the company, and so they're going to come after you. You don't want that at all. To tell you the truth, that kind of computer would be perfect because you could actually do a wired connection, Ethernet connection to another wireless device. And you wouldn't, the other thing too, it doesn't have a GPS locator inside of it. So very nice. You could do some things with that.
So how the hell are we going to be able to connect our computer to internet every time we're traveling? What if our Airbnb doesn't have access to the Ethernet, or a hotel doesn't have access to the Ethernet? What do we do? So this is a travel router. The cool thing about this router is that it can connect to Wi-Fi that's available wherever you are, and you can connect your computer to it through Ethernet. So it would work normally. You would just connect your computer to this router and connect the router to whatever Wi-Fi is available to you.
Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's correct. Now, see, this is why, again, you're in the class right now. This is why it's essential to know networking, subnetworking, and binary, because you actually need to know those network settings to put onto this router. And if you don't get it right, it could advertise your location. So if you actually know what you're doing with subnetting and binary, and you actually know what you're doing with your cable, you can do everything. And you get a testing philosophy, you get a testing methodology. So what you do is you get your normal computer route first, you do your Ethernet connection, you make sure that your subnets are correct and your routing is correct, and then you do some tests to make sure that it looks legit, like it's actually done, the VPN is correct. As long as it's done correctly, then you can put your work computer on there. But you should always test first with your normal computer. As long as you're doing that, you're fine. What I find, again, my little personal grief, is you get students who don't take networking seriously. They don't take like the VPC seriously, the binary seriously, all that. And then they go abroad and they goof up with this thing right there. And then their location is broadcast to their company. Then they have an issue. Yeah.
So when Theo's telling, go ahead, Theo. I'm sorry.
No, that's a very much of an issue. And then the other thing is they don't understand what VPNs are, or actually how to establish VPNs. So they screw things up. So that's on them.
There we go.
The cool thing about this travel router is that you can add a VPN to it to mask your
just like Theo just said. Let's go back to what the brother was saying.
To Wi-Fi that's available wherever you are, and you can connect your computer to it through Ethernet. So it would work normally. You would just connect your computer to this router and connect the router to whatever Wi-Fi is available to you. And the cool thing about this travel router is that you can add a VPN to it to mask your location. That way your company doesn't know you left the country. Now, I would probably also upgrade to a compact keyboard and mouse just to make it easier to travel. And all of this should fit in your personal item, plane bag, or your carry-on, depending on how big your backpack.
All right,
Okay.
let's see what you have to say, Theo.
Okay, so this is my little point. If you're going to be traveling, only travel to one place. Don't go like from place to place to place. That makes your life more difficult because it increases your attack surface, basically, for you to screw up your VPN back home. So just go to one place, maybe two, but go to one place and sit. It's like what I always say with relationships. You know, I'm rather conservative there. Date one woman. Don't date around. It really reduces the amount of stupidity you're going to go through, problems you're going to go through. So if you really be in one place, that means you can have a monitor and keyboard and mouse ordered ahead of time and sent to you. And what I always say is you should go to a hotel for 1 week. So my little thing that I do, again, Theo recommendation, when I go to a new country in particular, I stay at the Hilton first. And the reason I stay at the Hilton is that their IT, their internet connection is the same globally. Doesn't matter where it is. So if I'm in Ukraine or Sao Paulo or Japan, it's the same system. So I know how to do my connection. So if I get there, I think I'm a diamond member with them. I have my external monitor and my keyboard and my mouse already there. So I check in, they give me my hardware, I go upstairs and just walk in. I don't have to worry about it, right? And that's because if you have your monitor in your bag while you're traveling, there's a possibility you're going to break your monitor. Yeah,
that's true.
So it's like $200 for you to get another monitor and have it like 27 inches in the country. Why wouldn't you just do that?
Right, just have it waiting there for you at the location.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Number 3 of 7 we're looking at tonight. How to get started in this. You know, many of us are already involved in it, but some guys just don't know how to get started. I'm going to get to the super chats in a moment, gentlemen. But let's talk about how to get started.
I am a cloud engineer.
I am a cloud engineer.
Damn. Is that baby a cloud engineer as well?
To do.
120K.
120K a year.
Cloud engineering is at an all-time high, and here's a roadmap to become a cloud engineer. Number 1 thing I would recommend, do projects. Best way to learn by far. This is a great free website where you can get a ton of projects that are going to teach.
Now, I went to that website. They do have some really good projects for beginners. They've got projects for the advanced. They've got projects for, I've done projects. I haven't told Theo, I've done projects. And the main reason why I've done projects is to just get comfortable with the AWS process, just get comfortable with cloud engineering, understanding what the hell what I'm getting myself into. So I've actually done projects. Some of them I've been able to complete. Some of them I've been scratching the back of my head like, okay, what am I supposed to do next? And so I've gone to ChatGPT and had ChatGPT literally create projects for beginners to AWS in regards to this or that, and it walks me straight through. So he's absolutely correct. Now, the projects that I've done, will I put them on LinkedIn, or the projects that I've done, will these particular ones that I've done over the last couple of weeks go to my resume? No, because these are just moot projects. But the ones that are important for us, based off of my theory or studies, you do want to have those set up. So this website, I kid you not, they are really, and they're also on TikTok. So if you go to TikTok and look for It's Next Work, all one word, It's Next Work, and their whole channel is dedicated to the career, the interviews. We're going to see a lot of their videos tonight. I promise you guys, you appreciate me for in regards to this particular TikTok group, and it's dedicated to cloud engineering. The whole thing, young people, older people, everybody involved in cloud engineering. That's what this particular website is.
Teach you the basics. Because let's be real, if you've applied for jobs recently, you know that recruiters don't give up. Recruiters don't care about your theory or your courses you've done. They care about what you've built and what you can show. Now, number 2 is learning the core services. So when you use websites like that, learn things like security, storage, networking, the basics of IT and fundamentals that are going to carry you across cloud. As you're doing these projects, make sure to fill in these boxes so you get documentation.
And that's what I like about this particular website. As you do the projects, it not only allows you to do the projects, but it also allows you to put in documentation. So at the end of the project, you actually have full-scale documentation of what you actually did in the project. Some people know how to do a certain thing, but you don't know how to describe what you did. And so this website teaches you on how to do that. Go ahead, Theo. You about to say something?
So one of the recommendations that I have is that, especially if you're using Terraform, you should actually have the build output as a part of your repo, so that you can show that you actually built it. It actually deploys, so that they know this isn't ChatGPT. So that's what I do. And then also you should probably have kind of like a clickbait in your public repo. You should have something that's kind of cool, but your private repo should have the awesome stuff. And you want to have a differentiation between the two. And so what you do is you tell them, if you want to see your repo, like give me an email that you want I should register, and then they give you the email, then they can go ahead and see it. That's usually the best way of doing it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you mentioned that.
The end that you can post on LinkedIn and share anywhere. Number 3, the big scary coding. To become a cloud engineer, you do need to learn how to code. You need to learn things like Python, Bash, Linux, but don't swipe off the video. In order to start learning how to become a cloud engineer, you don't need to learn how to code right away. Especially with AI now, learning how to code is becoming easier than ever. So don't be scared of coding. You can do it. And then number 4 is containers. You need to master the basics of containers with Docker and orchestration with Kubernetes. But if you start learning with projects, you start doing the basics, you are going to be in front of so many people. You got this. Make sure to follow to learn something new.
Okay, before he goes any further, those four genres that he just mentioned, what's your opinion in regards to that, in regards to getting started?
Entirely correct. Entirely correct. So you need to know the infrastructure. You need to know how the application works in the infrastructure, but you don't need to know how to code the application. You need to know some coding for some applications, but it's more for an integration point of view. So a lot of the code, like I just had it this tonight. I was doing an AI SecOps demonstration, and part of the code was auto-generated. And if you're in GCP, you'll know that part of the Terraform can also be auto-generated. So you can get that. You get some auto-generation of code, but you need to know how to place it in there. You need to know how to use it. And so that's why you still have to know some coding principles. And then without a doubt, you do need to have the Kubernetes and the Docker. That is where everything is going. Like, I'll give you one example of a book. Again, I just was just looking for this. Like Gen AI with Kubernetes.
Oh, wow.
This is where it's really going to, or Kubernetes for AI solutions. So what you want to do, this is what I've been doing for like the last 6 months, is you're trying to put agentic AI into a Kubernetes cluster and then use different agentic AI agents for different applications and actually developing that. That's what the real future is going to be. So then you have to know Kubernetes. You need to know the infrastructure of it. And then other teams actually do the application deployment, but you do the infrastructure. That's a job by itself. Actually, I have 4 people working on my team just doing that kind of stuff, that kind of work.
Oh, wow. So at least now, guys, in the comment section, at least to let you know that once again, this is a particular live stream to encourage you guys that are thinking about going into tech, into cloud engineering, or you guys that are in Theo's classes already, or any other program that you're studying already, this is just a live stream tonight. It's not going to be too long, but it's just here. It's 7 areas that we're going to keep you guys encouraged. So every area that we hit is just to encourage you guys, to let you know that you made the right decision into going into cloud or any other form of tech, and let you guys get a little bit of tidbit information from Theo that we probably hadn't talked about during interviews, or he hadn't talked about in particular classes quite yet. So we're going to talk about those things. And one of the things that we're going to be coming up on real soon is the interviewing process. So we're going to be talking about that tonight as well. But let me get to these super chats real quick, and then we're going to go back to the videos, Theo. Shout out to my man Chill with Will in the building. He says, salutations, Andre and Theo and the chat family. He said it was good to meet you at the conclave. This will be another fire show. Yes, it is. He said no reason for being successful to move out. He say no reason for being successful or to move outside the United States to fulfill your dreams, or new reason to do this. Shout out to you, brother Will. And my man Kobe in the building. He say, see, there are many job opportunities now in tech. As the one brother said, there are over 500,000 plus opportunities out there globally for men to take advantage of, as well as ladies. Yep. Kings and Dreams says, my guys, let's go. And I love y'all. We love you too, Kings. Really do, brother. And my man Growth Kofa says this. Kofa says this. He said, let Theo cook. Let that man cook. Shout out to Gabriel being in the building with the $2 love as well. He say tech is the present and future. Move forward, Black men. Realize this, guys. It does come across. I'm gonna say something that they're going to hit in the video. In the beginning, it's supposed to be intimidating. It's something new. Doing content for me is second nature. But when I first started, it was intimidating. It's the J curve. You drop. This is a J, like the letter J. You don't automatically, you're not at the top of a J. You're at the bottom. You step off the edge of a J and you drop. And that's the intimidating part. And you're at the bottom of a J, and it may be for a couple of years of learning and getting your skills together and making projects and networking and getting mentors like Theo and others. And then you work your way up to the long side of a J. That's in everything that we do, gentlemen. There is nothing in life that you do that you haven't experienced the J curve. So when it comes to whether you learn a new language, whether it's traveling, whatever it is. So guys, feel comfortable with feeling uncomfortable, because right now you're at the bottom of your J. That's all it is. And you're working your way up to the long side of the J. All right, let's continue on with the super chats. Shout out to man Jay Casey in the building with the 9. He said, when I was 22 years old, I didn't even have a degree. I applied for a marketing job. During the interview, I found a few things that we could relate with. He said he liked me, hired me. He said, and it started at 150K. 22 years old, 10 to 1099. Shout out to you, brother. And my man, the International Quiet Storm, is in the building. He said, just supporting the content with the $20 love. Appreciate you, brother, for being here. And shout out to my man, Dat, for being here once again with the $15 love. He said, I appreciate the stream, fellow classmates, and cannot wait to sit down and chop it up with you about Afro-Southern American history. Southern history with you. Salute to you as well, brother. We had a great conversation on the yesterday in class, and I would look forward to meeting you guys as well. Always look forward to it. Let's continue on when we're talking about, he was just talking about, we're in the segment where we're talking about opportunities. So let's continue on with the video. Right now, he's talking about Theo's expertise, which is networking.
Why are we still pretending cloud and networking are separate in 2025? I've been in networking for 15 years, and I'm telling you, the game has completely changed. 98% of global companies are using cloud services right now. Federal cloud spending doubled in just 4 years, and here's the kicker, most people in IT are getting left behind because they're still thinking in silos.
Let's talk about the fact that cloud engineers make an average salary of $133,000 in Washington, D.C., That's a lot of money, and it could be life-changing. If you're coming from a non-tech background like me and you're trying to get into cloud engineering, here are 5 resources that have helped me tremendously on my cloud journey. Coming in hot at number 1 is Free Code Camp on YouTube. Andrew Brown has a great course with them where he teaches you how to pass the AWS Cloud Practitioner. I followed his video religiously, took notes, did note cards, and passed in less than a month to get my AWS Cloud Practitioner. Number 2 is Neil Davis' course on Udemy. He has courses for the AWS Cloud Practitioner as well as the AWS Solutions Architect. And with all
okay, let's pause, because every time I see you shake your head,
they always go low, always. So that first thing she went for was a CCP. It was like, that's basic. We shouldn't even be talking about it. Go for SAA. Anybody, you guys all know in the class, I say go for SAA. You only go for CCP if you're having a hard time. You want to boost your confidence. That's it. You always go for. See, this is why I think this gets me so irritated as a teacher. I always say, like, so many of my students go for the basic first, and they think they've achieved something. I'm like, stop! You've just achieved failing basic. That's it. It's not really going in there. So go for the Solutions Architect Associate. Stefan Marek is what you should be using, but Neil Price is good. A lot of my students use what is it? I forgot. Contrail. That's what it is. A lot of my students use Contrail. So I like Contrail too. So what you should be going for, I always say, is you go for Solutions Architect Associate, and then you want to get a specialization. Then they know you're doing something. It's kind of like D-May. He might be in the chat again still. When D-May encountered us, he got this Solutions Architect Associate, and then he got this AWS security specialty before he joined the class.
Wow.
Yeah, and I saw that. I was like, you're serious? I can take you seriously. You know what you're doing. Okay, cool. I know what's going on. So you have to have that kind of urgency and like devotion to really go for it. And then what you want to do is you want to add your scripting to it, Python scripting. You want to do some also additional Python for DevOps and for projects. Not overkill, but know something. So you got to do that. And then, do your containers, things like that. Go get like, certified Kubernetes administrator from the Linux Foundation. You want to go get those kinds of things. That's what you want to be working on. And then get a DevOps certification if you can. Get Terraform Associate because that's going to show you that you can actually do automation. Those are what you want to work on. Again, if she's talking CCP, this always frustrates me because what happens is that somebody gets like the basic cert and they're like, oh, I could be an engineer now. I'm like, yeah, not really. It's not 5 years ago. You could have done it 5 years ago, but not now. You need to have the associate, like this Solutions Architect Associate. But, aiming low, so many people like to do it, and they complain. Like, I wanted somebody to love me. Okay, let's go out and get a thug. Oh, that sounds great. That'll work.
Good analogy.
Oh, I want someone to love me too. Let's go get a beautiful bottom feeder. Oh, yeah, that sounds really great. Yeah, we'll do well there. Oh, where's all my possessions? I lost everything. I wonder why.
and it goes back to what you were saying about having confidence in yourself to go after these things, because if you have the confidence to get the practitioner, you might as well go ahead and allow your confidence to be built to get the associate cert. So I mean the architect cert. So that's an excellent point there.
Yeah. It's not that hard. Anyway, let's keep on going. She's probably gonna flabbergast me again. So let's go.
I know she is. Shout out to my man Jaquez with the $5 on the Cash App, as well as my man T-Mac in the building with the $20 love on the Cash App. Appreciate you, brothers. Let's continue on. Let's go back here. And here we go. Let's hear what else she has to say.
All of his courses, you get 6 practice exams. So after you finish all of your studies, you go through the exams. My advice is, as you take the exams, try to pass with at least a 75% or more before you move on to the next exam. I'm also a big fan of Google Cloud. So if you're trying to learn Google Cloud, you can go for their associate exam, which is their first tier of certifications. Really play a
I love That's why I brought Theo on. So we don't be misinformed, gentlemen. So we're not misinformed. Let's hear what you have to say about this, Theo.
I mean, it would be like a guy stepping off the airplane in Cali, and he's like, Dre, do you know any baby mamas?
Right.
And you're like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, I want to hook up with a baby mama. Like 4 kids would be good. Like, that's my worth. I'm like, what are you talking? What's wrong with you? Like, why? Like, you wouldn't even want to be dealing with that, right? Okay, look, I'm going to say this because I've been teaching GCP for the last 2 years. The PCA, which is professional PCA, professional certified. No, what is it? Certified, cloud certified professional. There it is. I have, I don't know, maybe 30 students who have gotten that, and they all say it's easy. I thought it was easy too. And it's like one of the, I would say mid to high level. And I'm teaching GCP. I don't always teach for the test. I usually teach for Kubernetes or AI or some other implementation, but I'm not teaching for the test per se. And students just go off to the side and, thanks, Ninja Person, they just go off to the side and go get it. And I'm like, how did you do it? I'm like, wow, it's amazing. And they're like, yeah, it's so easy. I had no problem with it. See, that's what we're talking about, a culture. There's a difference between aiming low and aiming high. There's 2 different things. In my group, we aim high. We don't play around. Why would you go get an associate level cert in GCP when the professional cloud architect is so easy to attain? Doesn't make sense. Stop aiming low. It doesn't matter. Everybody knows here, I'm overweight. I don't have the best body in the world. Do you think I go for baby mamas? No, I don't talk to them. I go for women who are nerds and have careers and they're fun, and I go abroad to do that. I'm not going to date no baby mama. Oh, but it's easy to do. Stop it. Stop it. Like, really? So this is why I say this, like, this is why she says, like, the average salary is 133. Yeah, if you're doing basic stuff, you guys, almost all of my students, their starting salary is 145 with 20% bonus.
There we go.
Okay.
Let's continue.
Around in their Google Labs, you can learn their cloud system in the console, also using CLI, and you'll just have a lot of fun, and you're practicing to take their exam.
All right, let's talk about the salaries and the hours. We're going to start off.
You notice she didn't talk about Terraform. You have to go get the Terraform certification. She didn't talk about it. That is a key point to my class. You have got to get the Terraform certification because that's how you do automation, and you can't do DevOps without Terraform. She's not even approaching that. She's like 6 years in the past. This year, again, I'll show this book. This is the GitHub Foundations certification guide. Okay. We're going to go for this certification, and we're also going to go for the Jenkins certification. That's going to be a part of this class, of class 7. So we're going to show that you understand and you're certified as a DevOps engineer. She's not even talking about that. Man, Lord, please give me mercy. Give me strength and patience. Why? So this happens so many times. This is why they just really irritate me. Like, you can go high, guys. You're in the group. You're in the class. You can do that. We're all working together. Don't aim low. The market is there. Go for the high level.
All right. And you know what? Just that statement is the theme for tonight. Don't be confident. Don't aim low. The market is waiting for you. It's ready for you. And this is why we're doing this particular stream tonight, gentlemen. Shout out to my man D-Pain. He said, what's good, Andre? In Class 7, stand up. Salute to Class 7. Shout out to you. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody else. I think I got everybody as far as the super chats. Shout out to all you guys. Let's continue on with the video. And so now you guys have heard thus far. Let's do a little short synopsis real quick. Theo has already informed us that there are opportunities out there because of the people from India that come to the United States are now leaving because nobody's going to be paying $100,000 for these people to keep their visas. So our job opportunities are out there. B, Theo has already mentioned, as well as another brother, that there are so many jobs out there. The one brother mentioned that he's been doing it for 7 years. He said there's over 500,000 job opportunities that are out there for us to take advantage of. C, Theo says that go for the top opportunities. Don't short sell yourself because of fears, because of worries. I'm black and they may not give me the job because I'm too old, and may not give me the job because I'm too. Do not use those analogies when it comes to getting your certifications in whatever field. And Theo is saying also in regards to the scenarios that we looked at so far, there are things that we're going to be covering in class that'll be coming down the turnpike for you to get certifications that haven't even been discussed yet. Go ahead, Theo.
Yeah, when people start talking about their age or something like that, I'm like, where are you from? Like, there are so few engineers who can do this kind of work. The demand is so high. And then you're talking about your age. I mean, really? Like, just why? But I don't know. I started getting, testy and sadistic in class and thinking about fanciful ways to terminate somebody. So, I just couldn't.
I feel you. Hey, I understand. So let's take a quick look in the light. Other than Theo's hyper life, let's take a quick look at the hours as well as the salaries of somebody that's in tech.
How many actual hours do you work a week or a day?
I can't say. That's a good question.
Okay, put it this way. Yeah. What is a normal work day in terms of hour look for you?
Okay, so it really varies, honestly. Yeah. It depends on like the season. It depends on what's going on. So if there's compliance or there's an audit around the corner, I might be working on ensuring that like things are to the standard. And also it depends on like, am I trying to automate a process? Am I writing a policy, like a documentation? It really depends. Am I working with a vendor or trying to onboard them and testing out their tools? So it really
Let's start with the cons because I only have one, which is setting an actual work schedule. Because you're at home, you can kind of get like bullied into super early meetings or super late meetings, but it shouldn't be like that. Sometimes you need those meetings, but it shouldn't be a constant. So set boundaries for yourself. As far as pros, not losing energy going to and from an office, less wear and tear on your car and you, less chances of dying with driving being super dangerous, especially in Florida, less money spent because you can cook at home. If you have a family, you're way more present. And work-life balance because you get to splice in those life events that need to happen like laundry or dishes. We'd love to hear from the Cloud Gang which pros and cons you...
Yo, as I open my eyes in the morning, the first thing I do is give thanks. Catch up with the...
Now he says, I want to hear what you have to say about this one, Theo. He said, how long does it take you to be job ready as a cloud engineer? Now, let's say he already had it. He did his classes. He got his certs and things like that. After that, it took him about, he's saying 6 to 9 months. He said, if you're constantly putting in 2 to 4 hours of work daily to be serious about it. And I think that's what that's important.
If you're doing the projects, you're doing the tutorials, you're reading the documentation, you're doing the Udemy's, you're actually working with other people, actually putting in some time, 4 hours a day, 6 months, you're probably start a considerable interview ready. It might take you 3 months you have to get, conditioned to interviews, know what to say, what not to say. It takes a little while. But then once you're ready, you know how to talk in an interview. We call it speech ops. Once you get good at that, you'll be able to fly. It won't be a problem. So 9 months is fine. If you having more difficult time actually understanding the concept. It's going to take longer. If you don't want to do if you don't want to go to class, you want to, kind of be, I don't know, how can I say, lackadaisical about it, right? It's going to take you a lot longer. You're not going to get it. This isn't going to happen so quickly. And so I've seen some people like 2 months they're in, they've got the job. I've seen people go 3 years. They still don't have it. So it really matters on you as an individual. How much time you're going to put into it. In terms of how many hours you're going to put into it, my students will know right now. They know very well. I'm doing a lot of deployments. I'm doing a lot of releases. There's very little downtime. But to be honest, when there's not constant deployments, I might work 2 or 3 hours a week. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what some of the people were saying was basically correct. Okay, great.
Yeah. There's very little work. You're just doing maintenance, things like that. You're babysitting the system, and then you're preparing for something else later on. But when you're actually doing deployments, again, it was like last night in class, I got called. I had to go to work, and that was it. So I'd go back there and get my work done, and then come back over here. For the most part, like I'm supposed to be at work at 10 o'clock. I haven't, because I'm doing these late night deployments, I've been working at 11. So
right.
I don't wake up until about 10:30, 10:45. I don't even care, because I'm just working all the time. I mean, I might be working till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm dead. So I'm like, yeah, are you going to do stand up? I'm like, no, I got Chewbacca and Eva. I'm just going to sleep with them. They're nice and cuddly. So I got my Tempur-Pedic bed. I'm not leaving it. So if you're working at home, that's the kind of life you can have. I can't imagine going back into the office. It seems abusive. I can't even imagine it. Losing 2 hours a day, and then you don't get to have home cooked food.
Yeah, just to travel, the commute part, the 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, are you serious? You got to be joking me. There is no way. I don't do that. No. So just the way it is.
All right, let's continue on.
Lord, I tell them just how yesterday went. The ups and downs, smiles and frowns, I call that a holy event. Try not to dwell on the negative things. If I focus on God, that's time.
Usually my morning starts with emails and some internal work, but today I was slammed with customer issues, and before I knew it, it was lunchtime. My typical day involves meeting with customers and getting on calls to help them design their technical infrastructure. I get to meet incredible founders every day, and even though I'm helping them, I'm learning so much at the same time about how they got their business to this point. With cloud moving as fast as it is right now, it's a really exciting place to be.
Salute.
No 2 days feel the exact same.
Cloud engineers make an average salary of $120K. One of the best things about this role is that it requires less coding. So you're not working as a software engineer, you're not a developer, so you don't need to know a lot of programming languages. But you need to learn a different type of skill set. That skill set includes infrastructure, platform, and CI/CD DevOps tools. It includes a cloud platform, it includes infrastructure as code, CI/CD pipelines, GitHub, and a few other skills.
How much do you make doing what you do?
120K.
120.
We recently interviewed this beautiful family of cloud engineers, and some of the comments we got were interesting.
I look at the comments that they got of people that don't know what cloud engineering is. So the comments were like, do they get to use jetpacks to get to the clouds? Another one was like, cloud engineering, isn't that God's work? Another person said, so they make it rain while they make it rain. He said, another person said, they're making artificial clouds now. The reason why this industry, especially for people of color, is there's so much opportunity is because there are a lot of people of color that don't know anything about this industry. I'm gonna say this again. I'll give you guys the analogy that I often use is that I used to tell my stepson. Real quick story. I used to tell, and I said this one before, if I were allowed to train and be a part of the Olympic runners, and I went out there and they, it's the Olympics and the crowd's out there, cameras everywhere, 100 million people watching, and they shot the gun off, playa. if I was the only one that ran the race, I would ask my stepson, would I win? And he said, yeah. I said, why would I win? He said, because you were the only one that ran when the gun was shot. It's the same thing when it comes to many of us and the opportunities in cloud. Theo is not training us to be the best of the best of the best right out the gate, but he is training us to be involved in a, like Theo often says, a blue ocean instead of a red ocean of bloody people that are trying to get the same jobs and run into the same elevator of opportunities. He is training us to be in the blue ocean where there are not that many people. So we kind of laugh at this little group of statements right here, but really, most people of color don't know what cloud engineering is, and I would even say most Americans don't know what cloud engineering is. And so that's why they can say certain jokes and laugh and things like that, because when it comes to tech, a lot of people don't know. And this is why your opportunities exist.
Yeah, exactly. That was very well stated. People are goofy about it, and then they don't go into it. I'm like, okay, cool, more for me.
Yeah,
I have no problems with that.
That's a great way to put it, Theo. More for me. You say, were those serious questions?
Yeah. These are people talk all the time. Yeah, I'm just like, okay, I'm a cloud engineer. Let's keep on doing cloud. Some people who do know, they're like, oh yeah. So you do have filet mignon. I'm like, yes, I do. I eat well. So they're like, this is a hard thing. I do like cloud security architecture in the cloud in the AWS, GCP, and Azure. A lot of people just do not know what that is. I do. I know it really well. I've been doing it full time for the last 7 years now. There's just not a lot of people who accept it as work, and that's okay. I mean, that's fine. So again, to my students or your co-students, they know what's in there. They know what's going on. They're doing the work. That they know the opportunities, and then we got people who are making money off of it. But if other people are going around and saying they don't know, okay, cool. I would like to make another $1 million, the next 2 years. Let's go for it.
Yeah, seriously. my man, Kobe says this. Shout out to official Kobe. He said, what do you think about the SRE job?
If you want to do SRE, go do SRE.
What is SRE?
It's a kind of advanced form of DevOps.
Okay.
So it's really it's a bit harder. So one of my favorite students, I couldn't believe it. He skipped DevOps, went straight to SRE. I'm looking at him like, are you crazy? What he did, he bought a house in Atlanta, right? From his SRE wages. He got his contract year, went full time, got a bonus, got a salary increase, while other people, he went through 3 rounds of layoffs, and he was one of the guys who stayed there the entire time. So shout out to him.
That's what's up. Shout out to you guys that are out there and joining. Shout out to man Season of Destiny. Appreciate you being here, brother. He has a question. He said, just join. He said, apologize if it's already mentioned. How do you join your program? Is it too
Human
late?
sacrifice. You have to sacrifice somebody you love.
like Avengers Endgame, you got to sacrifice.
Yeah. The orange for the soul stone. Yeah, you have to do that.
The soul stone. Yep.
I always say is go to join Andre's Patreon. You get the information from there. Or I don't think only TIQS can put the Facebook group. So normally what happens is you have to go to the Facebook group. We have a holding area, and you have to be vetted, and then you have to go to a conclave. And we have to meet you and talk to you, and then you have to pay a fee to actually get into the class, and then you do a software install, then you're actually in the class. So you have to get ready to be in the class. It's not like it was before. You just kind of like, whoop, there it is, and just walk in. Before, I taught the class for free. For the first 3 years, I taught the classes for free. I don't do that anymore because I want a different caliber of student. So I charge money for it, but it's not that much. It's not exorbitant. It's you're not going to take a loan out for it. That's for sure. It's actually kind of an easy process. So you just have to get into the Facebook group, and then you can go from there. And you thought DevOps was harder? Not really. I don't like SRE, to tell you the truth, that much. But DevOps is fun. I do that literally every single day.
Okay, cool. And I got a question for you, Theo, because I thought about this over the last few weeks regarding those that didn't make it to the conclave. I want to be in cloud engineering. I didn't make it to the conclave to get into your classes. And I want to be in. I want to be in on this Black man movement in regards to tech. What do I do? Do you have any recommendations of courses or instructors? Like sometimes you talk about IP International Passport, his courses on Python, but for those that want to get off into cloud and they can't get into your program, should they just, because I know guys that have said, well, if I can't do it with Theo, I'm not going to do it at all. And that's a big mistake. So do you have any recommendations?
It's kind of like, how do I say this? Okay, how do I? Let's make this. Okay, I have a Swedish book right here. There you go. So complete Swedish. I have about 10 Swedish books for learning Swedish. Okay, they've been on my shelf for the last 3 years. Do I speak Swedish? No. Why? Because I'm not in a group to learn Swedish. I don't have a Swedish teacher. That's why. I've got plenty of audio. I've got other things too. But ultimately, when it comes down to the day-to-day grind, which I have, which is very intense, Swedish gets pushed over to the side and disappears because I'm not a part of a group. Now, this is what I say about learning IT. You can learn it on your own. Like, you could be a hardcore like I was and do your Microsoft, your Cisco, you could do everything on your own. You don't need anybody. But the likelihood of you passing is very low. You have to have some sort of encompassing interest or some sort of reason to do it. And if you don't, look, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and spicy content is going to take your attention away. It's the way it is. And I know that as a teacher. So what I say is, you want to get into the group. Now, we have a visual pass, right? You can do it visually. You can stay, so it's like a remote pass. So if you can't join, it's fine. Like, for example, we're going to have the conclave in Cali, Colombia in 2027. So I have to go over and see you. And actually now I have to go to Cali, Colombia. So like, if you can't make it to Cali, Colombia, you can stay in the States and do a remote pass, all right, and actually view the conclave from there. But if you want to be successful and you really want to go through this process, it's necessary for you to actually see somebody face to face for a weekend, shake their hand, go to lunch with them, do goofy stuff with them, interact, and then go back home, and boom, you're probably going to be successful in the class. That's why I have my conclave. So you guys go there, you actually get together, and you're most likely to pass. And that's what I want. I want you to pass. For me, passing is you get a job. All right? You're going to learn for the rest of your life. If you're doing cloud, this isn't going to stop. This is every single day for the rest of your life. You're going to be learning something. So,
True.
You know what I mean? I want you to get that job. I want you to get money. I want you to have $150,000 a year, because then nobody can tell you anything. And you hear people, like I always say this joke in the class, people using AI to get rejected automatically by 200 different companies because they sent their resume to 200 companies. They applied for jobs and they got rejected 200 times. Like, I think that's funny. I'm like, okay, instead of you doing that, you could be a cloud engineer who gets recruited, who then uses AI as a tool inside the cloud for the company, and you're making 160 on a bad year. Okay? That's what you want. So, guys, the choice is yours. It's really better for you to join the class. That's my recommendation.
Yeah. And what I like about being in your class is this. is you teach from the perspective of as if somebody was going to get started, you know, or they're already in the work environment. It's almost as if we're in the metaverse, and we're actually being taught the step-by-step everyday things that you're going to be doing on a regular basis. I'll tell you some of the benefits of Theo's group or instructors as well as fellow classmates. A lot of the fellow classmates that are employed, that are making 150, 175,000 a year, are still in class. A. B, I've met at least 10 of Theo's graduates here in Cali, Colombia. Some of them have been my neighbors. Every single one of them are still going after certain certs. So when Theo says going after certs or being educated or keeping the your knowledge alert is a lifetime thing, bruh, I've talked to these guys. Every single one of them have at least 2 or 3 certs that they're studying for, even after they're making the $150,000 to $200,000 a year. So I can definitely confirm that. The other thing for Theo, you have something you want to say, Theo?
No, go ahead. The other thing.
The other thing that I want to say about the benefits of the class is the instructors in the class are specialists in the interviewing process. They answer questions about that, day-to-day activities, to keep you encouraged. How do you feel when you first started? So with Theo's group, it's not just you by yourself. You're you're separated into groups on purpose. Why? Because in the work environment, you're going to be working with different people around the world in a group on a particular project or whatever it may be, a policy or whatever it may be. I worked on a policy the other day, by the way, as a project. And yes, I did. Yes, I did, Connie, sir. I worked on a policy.
And, I like that.
So working in a group gets you already comfortable with, okay, I'm so used to being in, for example, I'm in International Quiet Storms group. Shout out to TIQS. So when I'm in the work environment, it's not foreign to work on a particular project with a group of guys. Well, when you're doing it by yourself, and you can get the certs and you can get the opportunities, but you're not used to the everyday work environment and what to expect. In Theo's courses, we talk about everything from analyzing resumes to analyzing your LinkedIn account. Shout out to Chewbacca in the building.
There he is. Yeah. So you're saying you're talking about the analyst, the getting code, how you're placing it in the cloud. All of these points, you're not doing it by yourself, right? You're learning it with a group, and we're learning with other people, and you're engaged. And this is what I like about the class. It's just you're understanding you're not an island. And as I always tell the students, if you act as an island, you will be swallowed by the ocean. And so you need to act as an archipelago, all right, as a group of islands, and then you're going to be okay. And there's a lot of work to do. And of course, you still get the students, like I like yesterday, like, do we really need to use subnetting in the future? Like, why do you think I'm teaching this to you? What? So are we going to talk about anime or something? Is this what you think I'm doing? Like, if you're in the office, you better know this, because if you don't, we're getting rid of you, okay? Like, I'm only teaching you that which is necessary for the job. Why would I teach you anything else? So yes, of course I'm doing this. You get that. You always get me energetic about that real quick against other students. We're pushing you. We want you to be productive in the office, right? So give an example of how fast we're going. Next week we're doing Terraform. Starts next week. Yeah. Before it didn't start until like November or December later on. No, man. I'm going right for it.
Yeah. I just realized. Wow.
Yeah.
That is, you're right. It was November, December.
Yeah, it's because the teardown takes so long. So we need to get you guys doing Terraform immediately. And we know that we need to get you guys coding, because then we can get you different projects and you won't be bored. So I can just start throwing projects at you and say, do this, do this, do this. And like you said, almost every class leader has a job. So it's a lot easier now. I know that the students can go to the class leader and the group leader, sorry, and actually talk there, and they get really great advice. So that means I can push harder, right? And I can do more. That means we can do scripting this year. We've never done scripting before.
There we go.
That's coming. We can spend 2 months just on Jenkins. We've never done that before. But this year, 2 months minimum, just Jenkins, right? Yeah, you're gonna. Let's say this: people are gonna envy you that you have a wife, because at least somebody can pity you at home. Because you're gonna need somebody to take care of you. Like, are you doing more Jenkins? Okay, here's some aspirin.
I know.
Here's something to drink. Here's some food. Like, go out and walk. Like, because the other students, they'll be like, yeah, the last 10 days I didn't go out and see sunlight. I don't even know what time it is, but I'm still doing Jenkins.
I know that feeling.
Yeah. So, yeah, I want you guys to, I want you guys to have this opportunity, but we're pushing you. That's it. That's what I want you guys to understand.
Terraform will change your life, gents.
Yeah. Once you start doing Terraform, you understand how easy this is and that where you can really do with it. You're like, yeah, you're never going to look back. It's wonderful.
All right. Let's go into the next segment. And like I said, this was the video that went viral when it came to cloud. And this was when she did the interview with the black woman, with the couple with the kid, and everybody didn't know what cloud was and didn't understand how is this couple bringing in $120,000 a piece in cloud. What is that? And so people didn't understand it. So let's go back to that video.
Recently interviewed this beautiful family of cloud engineers, and some of the comments we got were interesting. So I figured I'd take this moment to clear up any confusion. Cloud engineers work in a specialized field of software engineering where they design and build cloud frameworks.
All right, let's talk about cloud engineering salaries. This is the part everybody gets excited about. Here's the thing though, salary.
Now, this brother has been involved in clouds for the last 7-8 years. I got to find his. I'm going to find his Instagram page and going to put it in the chat. Really, really informative, grassroots comments and information. So he'll be in the video throughout the live stream.
This can widely range depending on your location, the company, and what you're willing to accept. So in one city, an entry-level cloud engineer might start at 80 to 85K. In another city, it can be 120, 125K for the same role. Big tech companies, they may even offer more. So here's the thing. You control the outcome. So when you get the offer, you can ask yourself, does this support my goals? Does it support my lifestyle? If the answer is yes, take it. Build the experience. Your first job is a stepping stone or launch pad anyway.
Interviewing as a software engineer, this is what happens when you get your first, like when you get an offer, right? I just finished getting off of a call for the initial interview for a government contracting company that basically contracts to the government. It just gets, what the hell got mine? It just gets contracts from the government, so it's a very government company. They walked me through the benefits. Oh my God, 100% match on your 401k. That means if you put in 23,000, they put in 23,000. That's crazy. At Amex, I had maybe 6% match, and that in 3 years grew my account like very good. So I can't even imagine 100% match. That's a little crazy. Holy, that's something to think about. I expressed to the interviewer, I'm like, hey, look, I'm gonna be completely transparent with you. I am interviewing for the companies, and I am in the final stages of the interview where I've gotten an offer from one company. And you know, obviously, I was just like, I don't want to get too close to when I have to give a notice. I have to give them a response by Wednesday. I don't want to cut it close and wait until the last day just to be like, okay, I want this job. But I also obviously need to experiment, go out there, interview, and just see what happens. Even though I hate interviewing. I have another interview on Friday with a different startup, a fintech startup. And minimum they're offering, I think, 140.
All right. So I just dropped the link to the brother's TikTok page. I'm going to go over to it real quick, guys, let you guys see it before we go into the section where some of you guys were asking, am I too old? Am I too old? So let me pull up this screen real quick screen share, and let's go to not there.
Yeah, so the guy was saying like starting salary 85,000. I would say if you have a basic, very, very basic certification like CCP and some
Right.
CompTIA, and you don't know what you're doing, you get $80,000. Like that, if you're like, okay, literally the bare minimum, I just want to be able to pay my rent and eat a little bit of food. Okay, you got in. And then he's talking like up to 120,000. No, man, that person has no ambition. My students normally start at 145.
Absolutely.
I'm like, you just got to do a little bit more. You get the wage, get the salary.
All right. So there's the link, guys. I'm trying to hook you up. So make sure that you guys connect to these TikTok pages because they really do give you some really, really great information. So that's one of them. And then I have another one I'm going to share a little later, but we're going to go back to the video.
I didn't think I'd have to say this, but you're not too old to get into tech. I got into tech when I was 30, babes. I'm 33. Damn. And if I could do it, you can do it. Not only can you do it, but you're also smart enough to do it. Not only are you smart enough to do it and not too old, but you can also do it for free. There are plenty of resources to become a cloud engineer, a project manager, a software developer, full stack, front end, back end, and you can start from scratch.
Get into tech at any age that you want. Doesn't matter if you're 40 or 50 years old, right? If you're willing to learn a new skill, you can definitely get into tech. So I wouldn't worry about your age at all. I would just focus on learning your new tech skills. So, look at either certifications.
Don't limit yourself because of age, because you can learn anything. All right. You learn Facebook. All right. It's the same thing. The more you do it, the better you get at it.
Okay, Theo, let me hear what you have to say about the ageism.
The woman was talking like 33, and I'm like, woman, working in tech isn't like having a baby, okay? I mean, honestly. Okay, so if you're talking biological, having baby, you're talking, 33, something like that, and you're not a Latina. Latinas can, produce forever. So, I'm looking at her, I'm like, what are you talking about? So you could always get a job, and 33 is not old at all. Not at all. I restarted doing tech in the United States when I was 37, right? So it's not even old. It's not old at all. All you have to do is make sure you know what you're doing, be able to learn, get some certifications, and get a network, get people who want to work with you. Done. They don't care how old you are.
There you go. I'll be 50. I'll be 58 in less than 4 or 5 days. 5 days, less than 5 days. And so, believe you me, I have yet to have a career slow me down because of ageism. So definitely to you guys.
So you got Virgo, Scorpio in the house?
Libras and Scorpios.
Libras. Yeah, you two are made for each other. Oh my God, I gotta stay away from your house.
I know, right? Madness, I say, utter madness.
Madness.
And I'll also include, I did an interview with a guy named Lawrence.
Okay.
He started off dev tech when he was in his mid 40s, and self-taught. He used to work at Dairy Queen, he's never did this stuff. And
Dude went from Dairy Queen to tech in his mid 40s.
Oh. And now he's a pro, and he's speaking all over the world, and he works for these big companies and hosts these big dev conferences. He's deeply entrenched in the community. He's from Memphis, and but he's an example of you're not too old to learn anything. This is ageless. This is kind of an ageless industry. Because
and actually following you for the last couple of years, that's what made me feel like okay, I can actually do this. Because you always said you're not too old. Black and brown people, you need to get in there. I said, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot.
Make the transition. It is never too late to change your life. Don't matter the age, time, it's never too late. And don't ever doubt yourself like that.
All right, if I had to start over in cloud computing today, I wouldn't touch a cert course or even AWS until I did this one thing first. Now, most people rush to the cloud and burn out fast. Why? Because they're learning the wrong things for the roles that they actually want. So here's exactly what I would do in order if I was starting over. So you don't have to waste years going in circles. Now, before anything else, I pick a role that excites me, like cloud engineer, cloud security engineer, whatever that role is. Then I go to 2 to 3 job postings from real companies I want to work for, and I break down what they want. Not what a random course tells me to learn, but what they want. This is your personal blueprint. Do this before learning anything. Then I will bridge the gaps with certs. I get 1 to 2 core certs that directly go over the core skills in those job postings. Think about AWS CCP, if you're doing developer, SysOps, solutions architect, whatever.
I know. The CCP.
Okay, how do I describe this? Okay, you always want to go for a superior level cert as fast as you can, in order to show that you have depth and that you're serious about it. Entry-level certs are what you do temporarily on the way to success, to actually getting a real cert. That's the way you should always be thinking. So what he is saying there, what I thought is, why don't you just get your SAA and then your DevOps Pro? You're done. Nobody can say anything to you. You've done it. Like, everyone's going to know you know AWS really well. So why not go for a certification that shows you have the full skill set and you are not to be challenged, and then have a repo of projects that back up your skill set? Then you have integrity and it works. Now, what the other person was saying before about age and stuff like that, guys, I want you to understand, right? Over the age of 40, I have students who got jobs who were previously convicts working on a fisherman, trash collectors, babysitters, carpet cleaners. In fact, I've got a lot of carpet cleaners in the class. I don't say who they are, but I know who they are. Truckers, okay? These are people who you would never think could do cloud. And I've got, okay, some of the people who make over 200,000 came from the lowest positions. What the thing was is that they had a massive dog in them. And they were like, I'm not going to die in this position. I refuse to live this way. And they went out and got it. I barely had to encourage them. I just correct them every once in a while, talk with them, give them kind of a few pointers. That's it. Boom. They had no FUD. They were like, I have an opportunity. I'm taking. I'm gone. Some of my hardest, like hardcore passport bros who are making over $200,000 a year and will not set foot in the United States, they came from backgrounds that was absolutely abysmal. Sewer cleaners. Serious. Cleaning sewers. Sewage systems. Killing animals? I don't know, butchers? Stuff like that. Mm-hmm. For firefighters. Things that are really hard to do. They did not want to do that kind of work anymore. And they did anything they could to get into tech. So what I always say to the students is, don't think of what your obstacle is in front of you. Do you want it, yes or no? And do you like living the way you do right now?
AI is killing cloud jobs. Then somebody's
just go for it.
Just
all you gotta do is go for it. That's it. Yeah.
I'm glad that you put it like
that. Never have say like this is the reason. Like we got a student who just got a CISSP, right? It's the highest level security certification you possibly get, basically. He's a felon. He talked all this stuff about him not being able to get the CISSP. I said, because he's a felon. I said, you could talk about that after you pass the test. So shut up and go take the test. He did. He failed it. I think he failed it twice, and he passed it the third time, or he failed it once and he passed it the second time. I forgot what it was. But he passed it, and he was happy now because he got it. And then he went for his verification process, and so far it's working. I don't know if he got verified 100%, but it looks like he's en route to getting that. Dude, like, don't have any obstacles in front of you. Just go do it.
Correct. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
That is, because the key is get just enough to speak the language to show that you're committed and you built the fundamentals, not become a cert collector now. Step 3, I will build hands-on skills fast. I'll start with labs, tutorials, quick build projects, but I wouldn't stop there. I go deeper. I search the public GitHub repos of those companies I want to work for. Why? I need to see the tools and stacks that they actually use. Then I'm going to try to deploy them myself. This makes your projects relevant to them. You feel me? Step 4, I would read up on system design, not to become an architect overnight.
Further, I want you to emphasize on this statement here.
Try to deploy them myself. This makes your and you build the fundamentals, not become a cert collector now. Step 3, I will build hands-on skills fast. I'll start with labs, tutorials, quick build projects, but I wouldn't stop there. I go deeper. I search the public GitHub repos of those companies I want to work for.
How does a person go about doing that, Theo, in your experience?
You ask them so from the JDs, they talk about what they want to have built,
right,
and then you go out and do it in the lab. So you do it in 2 areas of the lab. You do it first through what we call console ClickUps, and then you do it through Terraform. Okay. And you have the code there set. And then with Terraform and Ansible, what you always do is, because it's always hard to get it to work correctly. I always find that the very basic of Ansible and Terraform is the most difficult part. So you always have like a repo and says, and if I need it to work, this is where you do it. Like this is how you get it basically to work. And so as long as you have that example of what works for basic, then you'll be unstoppable. But if you don't have it, the basic part, you're going to be in big trouble. So True. Just think from a basic point of view, how do I do this? That's it. What are the steps? You know that in the class, I say you do this, you do this, you do this. This is the steps. This is how it works. I'm doing it because I'm establishing a basic baseline. And I was like, this is how you get things done. And the students say, like, do I really need to do this? I'm like, okay, well, do I have a baseball bat? Do I have a racquetball? Something like that? Because I need to torture you because I am preventing you from suffering. Because I had to suffer. I had to learn how to do these basic parts first. And I didn't have anyone to help me. So I'm here helping you to get the basics in, and your class leaders are also doing the same thing. You better listen, because this is how you get the job. All right? No, just pay attention and do it. Not hard. Like, as you would say, stop making excuses.
There we go.
Right?
Shout out to Theo with that book right there. Make sure you guys get your copy of Andre and Andrea's book, Stop Making Excuses, How to Overcome Distractions, Discouragement, Complacency. Yes, sir. And
I'm going to use this in class. I'm going to use this in class on Friday. I'm going to beat a few students on with this book.
There we go.
You thought it was hard for Andre in the slammer. Right? You got me in your class. I'm your teacher. I know what you are.
I know. Shout out to all you guys. Let's continue with the video.
Why? I need to see the tools and stacks that they actually use.
So to paraphrase what Theo was saying, guys, before we go any further with our brother, Theo says, take what you see in the job description and begin the process of creating projects based off of the JD or job description. So when you hear him say the term JD, you know that Theo was saying job description, correct?
Yep, that's correct. So for example, I'm a WAF engineer. I specialize in WAF. So when they say, for example, we need to have a Terraform in Azure doing WAF, I'm like, okay, do I have a repo that has that? Real quick, oh, maybe I do, I don't. So I have to go look at what I've done before, and then update it in Azure and get a new one with Terraform and get that done ready, right? So that's probably 3 hours of work for me to do. It's on the side. So I get that done real quick. Maybe there's something new I didn't know about. And then I say, yes, I can do it. I've got a working repo ready. And then I make sure I have my deploy, the receipts. So I actually controlled. I deployed it. I got the Terraform receipts and I got the output in the cloud. So then they can look at it and say, "Oh yeah, this guy did it. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He can do it for us." Yeah.
There
Done.
you go.
It's not that hard.
Oh, I never even thought about having a collection of repos in your of your projects that you've completed. That's a good way of doing it.
Because the reason you want this, let's think about it real quick, Andre. Let's say you get in the office, right? And they're like, okay, so we want you to do an Aurora database, and we want you to do like 20 EC2s, right? And we want you to do it in Terraform. If you already did this before, and you already have the code for it, you get like 4 to 8 weeks of free salary. So while they're like, you could be like, "Oh, I tested this, or I did this. This is what I'm doing," and they're like, "Oh, okay, you're working so hard." You'd be like, "Dude, I already have it. I already know it. So I'm just gonna collect a free salary for a while. I'm gonna make a few podcasts. I'm gonna take Andrea out to lunch. You know,
right?
That's what you always want. So you always want to have that repo of code ready, so that your job is a lot easier when you actually get there.
All right. The evil laugh. You caught that? Yes, sir. Let's continue on, gentlemen.
Then I'm going to try to deploy them myself. This makes your projects relevant to them. You feel me? Step 4, I would read up on system design, not to become an architect overnight, right? But to understand how real systems are built for scale, availability, and redundancy. So if you're asked how you design a secure, scalable app, you don't freeze in the interview. You flow. And here's the last step. I would apply smart. Now that I know the company stack, I know the role needs, I built real demos, I'm not hoping to get picked. I'm already thinking like a team member. Now, you remember that one thing I told you to skip in the beginning? Courses? Yeah, without this plan, they just cause you a ton of confusion. Now, with this plan, now you know how to structure them and get a competitive advantage in you getting the job.
We interviewed. This is the fun part.
For today's tech interview, I want you to explain AWS regions and availability zones. If you can't do this, I'll make sure you never get a job in tech again. All right, hear me out. It's literally like a McDonald's franchise strategy, but for service. You've got McDonald's regions across the continents. North America.
I knew you were like this with Theo. That's why I kind of like made sure that I had a segment for the interviews. I knew that one. As soon as he said, as soon as I heard him say, "You'll never get a job in tech again," I said, "Yeah, this was the deal."
If you can't do this, I'll make sure you never get a job in tech again. All right, hear me out. It's literally like a McDonald's franchise strategy, but for service. You've got McDonald's regions across the continents. North America, Europe, Asia. Each city has multiple restaurants. So when one burns down, you can still get your Big Mac, which I know you eat a lot of. Did you just compare AWS infrastructure to fast food? Think about it. AWS regions are like different countries with AWS franchises. US East 1 in Virginia, EU West 1 in Ireland. Each region has at least 3 availability zones, which are buildings 100 kilometers apart with independent cooling and power. So when Instagram servers go down in 1A, their traffic just goes to 1B and 1C. Same region, different disaster zones. Actually, not that terrible. What about latency though? Exactly, just how McDonald's has 40,000 regions globally, AWS runs 33 plus regions with 105 availability zones. Netflix is gonna serve you from the closest region with ultra low latency fiber between the availability zones for synchronous data replication. But the regions are completely isolated from one another. Okay, and what happens when the entire region fails? That is when you learn the hard way about best practices. See, single availability zone deployment is cheaper, but riskier. One failure is going to take down everything. Multiple availability zones gives you real fault tolerance, but you got to pay for the infrastructure. Where in the world are you learning AWS from? Oh, I just go to learn.nextweek.org and I do a bunch of hands-on projects.
Okay, I'm going to drop that link next, their Instagram. And it's called It's Network. It's Next Work. I'm going to drop that link right now for you guys. They have an excellent Instagram. Let me add that to the stage real quick. And they have so many. Let me take this one removed from stage for a second. Let me add this one to the stage. And this is theirs. It's Network. And they talk about projects. So if you're trying to find some projects to do, you get a chance to see them do. So have fun with a lot of mock interviews. We're going to see that today. and they just free, like right here, free AWS and DevOps projects for beginners. So they've got a lot. So all you guys that like Theo says this in class a lot. He says they've already passed the law for you guys to be free. So you have the right, use your right, your freedom or right to be free to do things without having to ask somebody in class, hey Theo, can I do this project? Or Theo, can I try to do that project? Well, you got the right to do these things. And I kid you not, guys, one of the things that doing these projects, whether I succeeded or failed in the project, or in other words, got only so far and I just didn't understand to the end, it still gave me the confidence. Even though some of the beginning projects are things that we hadn't even talked about in class yet, it just makes me feel confident. So now I'm in class. So like if I have class that Tuesday or that Wednesday, I feel a lot confident just because I understand what a project is, what's expected in a project, what the analogy and the step-by-steps in a project, how to take a project from my AWS over to or from a file and take it through a Git bash over to GitHub. All those things are building my confidence, even though in class we may be at A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I know I'm going to get to these advanced things for beginners in a second, but at least just doing a project open up doors. So this this Instagram, not Instagram, I'm sorry, TikTok group and their website. Their website is I think nextwork.org. Nextwork.org. And I'm going to drop their website as well for you guys to see, because it does have a lot of projects for you guys to take advantage of. You just set up an account and it has free AWS projects. I'll pull it up right now on the screen real quick. And so wait a minute, maybe I moved us over. Let me do this. So here, this is what I'm talking about. So this is them on TikTok, and now I'm going to pull up their Instagram. Give me, not Instagram, but their direct website. Give me a second with that, guys. Stop the screen share, and then I'll go over here. There we go. And so you set everything up, set up your account, and then right here it says projects at the bottom. And now it has all these free projects that you can do. And then it allows you to collect your projects. Like I haven't done any projects yet in here, but once I get done, I get to collect my projects. And like they said earlier, they show you how to set up documentation on how you step-by-step created that particular free project. So some of these projects are for beginners. Some of these projects are for the advanced. They have roadmaps. They have specialty projects. So you have all types of projects in regards to tools. So, and here is all right here. And there's a series of 15 different type of projects that a person can do when it comes to this. And it's absolutely free. That's the other thing, guys. I'm going to give you the link right now, but I'm going to drop the link to their TikTok one more time. So for guys that aren't here tonight, they're missing out on a lot of information. Like I said, this particular live stream is going to be taken down, is going directly to the Patreon for you guys, and I'm going to have all this information for those. But for you guys that are here, you're getting a lot of information. So I'm going to give you the link to this particular website right here, and you set up your account like I set up my account right here. Bada bing, bada boom. And then you have your own little portfolio. And then let me go back, and then right here you just click on the projects, and those are the projects that are down there. And then as you complete them, it goes into my projects. So you have other projects that you can download and send as repos over to your GitHub. So like Theo says, there's nothing wrong with doing extra things. And I have another website of free projects that I'm going to share with you guys as well. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have to do your classwork. It just means that, like I said, I do the projects just to build my confidence in this in what we're doing in cloud. I don't try to do the project to be perfect in it yet. I'm not anywhere near perfection. But what I do is go ahead, Theo.
No, none of us are perfect. We're all learning. I haven't met one perfect cloud engineer yet. Never. Everyone needs to learn something more. There's always something more vast to do. There's always something else to do. So what I always say is do these projects in order to build up your confidence, right? But when you actually get to the job, the thing is, most of the students are like, really? This is all the job is? That's all I have to do? And I'm like, yeah, you're overqualified. They're like, yeah, I am. I'm like, yeah, and you sat there thinking that you didn't have the skill set. And I told you that you had it. You're fine. Now you can go do the work. And that's the way it works almost every single time. And the students are really happy. They're like, yeah, I could do this. This is no problem at all. Yeah, so this is good examples of projects. I might use these.
All right. Here, and I'm going to drop the link for this other one. This one here, they give you 10 free hands-on projects to learn AWS. It says build AWS skills with 10 hands-on projects in EC2, S3, Lambda, and more. And here are the projects right down here. I'm going to send you guys the link once again. Launch a static website using Amazon S3, and then you have other ones that go straight down. Like I said, I don't want the live stream to be too long, but I just want you guys to know there are things that you can do outside of class while you're doing your classwork as well. So I'm going to drop the link to this one. Also, let me pull this one up. Let me copy and paste. So you guys are getting some jewels tonight. Jewels, gentlemen. Jewels. Thank you guys for supporting by way of Cash App, PayPal, and Super Chats tonight. We appreciate that as well. So I hope this information is very informative, but you definitely want to connect to their TikTok page, these TikTok pages that we've been sharing tonight, as well as taking advantage of some of these free projects for beginners. Once again, these projects are for beginners. I kid you not, guys. I did this one this weekend. I did this one. Let me go right here. I did this one right here. Launch a static website on Amazon. I did this one this weekend. So, and it's for beginners. Believe you me, it is for beginners. But it introduced me. So when Theo says certain terms in class, I recognize them now. Before I was like, huh, what, huh? Now I reckon. So between reading and Udemy, classwork, networking with guys, because I don't just go to one class. I try to make it to at least 2 to 3 classes a week. Even though we talk about the same thing, I try to make this go around. I make the 2 or 3 classes a week. And when I'm not in class and I'm sitting around and I don't have anything to do, if I'm not reading, I am actually taking advantage of some of these projects that are for beginners, like dudes like me that just don't understand a lot of things immediately. At least the projects are introducing me to turn, like Lambda. I didn't know what Lambda was. Now I know what it is. I actually did a Lambda project. I actually put it together because that's a part of the S3 putting together this static website. So it's little things that you begin to pick up that you didn't pick up before. So definitely you guys need to take advantage of this.
We're going to be doing Lambda with combination with Bedrock, which is AI, in combination with S3s pretty soon. That's going to come in 2 classes, actually class 6 and class 7. So that's going to be kind of a wild weekend. And then we have to do that in Terraform as well. That's going to be kind of fun to do. That's something that's new that's coming out. So we're not trying to say, well, I'm really pushing the students this time. And it's because I believe in them. I know that they can do the work. I just say, like, we're not stopping. We're going to keep on going. I really need you to be working. I need you to be studying. So the projects are fine. I always say, just play around in the console. This is what I always do. Just play around. And what about this? What about this? How can I do this? Like, is this possible? And then go to people's repos on GitHub and see what you can deploy. There's some really cool stuff. Like, we did Splunk with Docker, and like in 2 hours we had this thing up working correctly, and I never thought I would do it. It took me way longer than that in the office, And I was like, oh, okay, even for myself, I'm like, wow, I know how to do this now. I can do this really quick in the office. All I have to do is do Docker Compose, and I know what I'm doing. Okay, fine. So I'm trying to get something more interesting, to be honest. So one is I'm trying to make a face recognition app. So, for example, you put like a celebrity's photo into an S3, and then it says who the celebrities are, right? Because then I'm gonna do Lizzo to death. So,
You're right.
It's gonna be
Shout out to Lizzo.
like every single kind of crazy celebrity. I go, okay, let's use that one, right? So I try to make it kind of funny, and if it is funny, then you're probably gonna learn it. That's like my technique. Or if it's kind of shocking, then you'll learn it. If it's boring, it's least likely that you're actually going to learn it, and that's going to be an issue. I'm trying to get video games for you guys, to be honest. I'm trying to get you guys to deploy video games. Yeah. So if you could do a Docker real quick, and you can play Pac-Man, and there you go. You get like Miss Pac-Man, Joust, Qbert. I'm old school.
Right. If you
right, but if you could actually do this and actually play Pong just by deploying it Terraform real quick, wouldn't you be more inclined to learn it?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was sitting back thinking the other day, Theo, before we go to the video, I was thinking the other day, one of the things that benefits me in this particular industry of cloud is that I'm analytical. B, because of doing YouTube and having to research and having to learn this and this goes with that and that goes with this, my mind is already in the habit of learning in chunks. My mind is already in the habit of that. The J curve is a part of the learning concept, so I'm at the bottom of my J, so I don't panic. So because a lot of you guys will panic because you think the next person is picking it up faster than you are. We're going to get to that part when it comes to God. When the last section tonight is about fear and the future of tech when it comes to black men. And so we're going to get to that part because a lot of you are at the bottom of your J and you think that you're doing something wrong because you're at the bottom of your J, and you think because you see another person going up their J, you're doing something wrong. One of the things I say, guys, stop comparative shopping.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Go ahead, Theo.
No, exactly. Stop comparing yourself to somebody else. Think about things in a very basic manner. What is the minimum that I need to do in order to get this working? That's it. Where is it? What's the documentation? I gotta have this documentation. Okay. I gotta go to this place. This is where I start. Okay. This is the first commands I need to put in. Okay, so now I have the first command. Okay, so let's just write that out because now I have something. And then where do I have to go next? As long as you think that way, you'll be just fine. I am serious. You just have to think something basic. So guys, you guys know in the class, I hate databases. I don't want to do them. I know that's always for the database engineer. Our database guy is on vacation right now. So I have to do all the databases for deployments. You think I want to do databases deployments? No. I mean, it's like, okay, dating Lizzo or database deployments. Well, that's a hard one. I mean, that's really hard. Which one do I want to do, right? Now, when I do database deployments, it's in a live group. So it's not by myself. There are like 20 to 30 people in that Zoom call watching me do a database deployment. And I barely know how to do this, okay? Do you think I panic? Yeah, a little bit. But I sit back, calm down, take a walk, right? Come back home and say, what's the minimum do I have to do? What am I doing? And I go, okay, there's documentation. Okay. I have to go to this instance. Okay. I have to log in. I know how to log in. Okay, I can do that. Okay. Once you get there, this is the command you have to run. Looks weird, but I have the command. Okay. So let me log in right now and see what it looks like. Oh, it looks like the documentation. Cool. So I'll just wait for the deployment. I get for the deployment. I do that. They see me do it. And then I have my command. They're like, okay. I put the command in. It works. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. It worked. So then they say, this is what you have to do next. I look at the documentation. Oh, that's what I have to do next. Okay. I do those things. It worked. Wow. I did a database deployment. I don't even know what's going on. Then they're like, run a script. Oh my goodness. I have to run a script out here. Oh, I'm gonna get fired. There's no way I'm gonna be able to do it. Oh, they gave it to me. Here's a script to run. Okay. Can I run it in sections? Yes, you can. Okay. Run them all through in sections. And I took screenshots to make sure that the output was correct. They're like, okay, you did a great job. Wow, I did it. All I had to do was work with other people and trust them. Wow, that was it. I get a salary again? Wow, we got people who can't get jobs. I get this nice salary. I get to go out and buy gym equipment again. I get to buy stupid stuff that nobody buys.
Lizzo
right?
tickets. Lizzo tickets, front row.
Front row, that's
Lizzo
right.
Tickets.
That's right. I want to get my free card.
Backstage
That's right.
Lizzo tickets.
That's right. I'm tagging that. That's for sure.
I know.
With the Waffle House. Waffle House
I know.
delivery
That's
to
right.
the Lisa concert. All right. So that's what I go through, right? So when you guys are going through your trepidation, I recognize I have the same thing. The only difference is that I don't give up. I remember what it was like being homeless. That sucked. That was really bad. I didn't know where my next meal was coming from. I had 2 dogs. I was sleeping behind benches. I had to hide my body at night. I didn't know I was going to get a shower. I had to hide what was going on. When I went through this, there was a mass murderer going around killing homeless people. And I was horrified what was going to happen to me. I had that. Like, what I do now is nothing compared to that. I have a Tempur-Pedic bed. I own my house. I have air conditioning and a fan. And I got my dogs. I literally got filet mignon in my fridge right now. If I want to go
There
get some
we go,
filet mignon,
literally.
I can go do it. Yeah. Like, it's all easy. So I always tell guys, where do you start? Go from there. Like, that's it. Just write out the steps. When you get to a point you don't know, start looking only for that. And then just go step by step afterwards and make it easier for you. Because if you're thinking you have to know everything, that's like, again, this is your channel. It's like me looking, okay, dude, it's like me dating a new woman and thinking I know how to get her to climax from the first moment. Look, I'm not that kind of guy. I don't know how to do that. I have to know her for a while. I have to feel her out. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not like you, Dre. You know what you're doing with. I don't know that. They don't have like a Terraform prompt or something I can SSH into. Like, okay, yeah, this is your sensors. I can just upload some code there. Oh yeah, you're feeling it. Good. I don't know that. It takes me a while. So I never think back and say I have to do everything and get a woman off immediately. Huh? No. I'm human. Okay? That's how I do things. So when you're doing work, it should be the exact same thing. Okay, I know how to get this far. I get help on the rest. I go out and get the documentation. I'll work out from there. As long as you're thinking that way, you're going to be fine. If not, if you're thinking you're going to know everything, nobody knows everything from the beginning. Be human. Stop doing that to yourself, really. You're going to have a heart attack when you're 35. Get up.
That's a
Come
good
on.
man. I like that. Be human. That's a
Yeah.
T-shirt for you. That is a T-shirt for you. Someone asked a question. Man, El Patron. I hadn't skipped past your statement, El Patron. He said, when is the next opportunity to sign up for Theo's class?
Okay, so I'm teaching. This is how the class is going right now. So I'm teaching Cisco starting next week. So if you do want to take Cisco, you can ping us real quick. But I'm taking beginners for that one. The class 7.5, which is GCP, I am accepting new students for that class. Okay, so let me say the next one. There's going to be a new cloud course next year offered. I'm developing it right now. It's not AWS and it's not GCP, but it's another cloud. So there's no way of stopping it when we have to have that cloud offered. So if you wanted to get into a class, you could do GCP and the other class next year. But the AWS class, you can't get into that one until September 2027 at Andre's backyard, because we're going to be in Colombia. So he's going to be barbecuing, even though he's a vegan. We don't care. So he's a vegetarian, so he can't, he likes to fish, but he's going to be barbecuing food for us. So that's what's going to happen. Because Andrea's going to be so happy too, because she's like, yeah, she has her man still. No crying on the live stream and making me feel horrible.
Right.
I'm taking her man.
Yeah, she did cry, didn't she? That's right.
Yeah. I felt so bad. I felt like, why am I doing this? Like, let's just have a conclave in Cali and call it a day.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard to watch that. I'm like, oh, I'm a bad man.
That's funny. So at the end of the video, guys, we're going to be discussing how to sign up for the next wave of class that Theo is mentioning. But I want to continue on with the next on the interview section, because that's what we're looking at right now, the interview section.
Hey, thanks, man. For today's interview, I want you to explain the difference between containers and Kubernetes. If you can't explain it, you're not going to get the job. I bet. Imagine your Empire from Star Wars, right? Containers are basically your stormtroopers. What are you doing? Are we even
I kind of figured you would like this one, Theo. That's why I posted this.
still talking about tech here? Bro, hear me out. Stormtroopers are identical. They come with everything you need. Armor, blaster, training, and you can deploy them from anywhere in the world. That's literally what containers are. They package up everything your app needs to run, so it works the same whether it's on your laptop or Amazon servers. That's actually not a bad example, right? But Stormtroopers alone are just individual soldiers without any coordination. That's why you need Kubernetes, which is basically Darth Vader commanding the Death Star. Vader decides how many Stormtroopers to deploy and where, replaces the ones that get taken out, and coordinates the whole operation. Kubernetes does the same thing. It manages all your containers across multiple servers automatically. Wait, so how does this actually work in production? So when millions of people hit Netflix at 9 p.m. on a Friday night, you've got the Kubernetes control plane handling everything. The API server takes the request, the scheduler decides which server gets the load, and the controllers keep it all running. Walk me through what it looks like. So all the viewers hit the load balancer first. They get distributed across worker nodes like server 1, 2, or 3. Server runs containers for streaming or user login, and the control plane constantly monitors traffic and spins up more containers automatically when needed. Where did you learn this stuff? Oh, I just went to learn.nextwork.org and I did this entire series on Kubernetes plus the Docker.
Now that's the website that I just gave you the link of, guys. I gave you their TikTok and I gave you their website that has the free projects for you guys to do. So that's the website that he's talking about.
Project. You are hired. It's literally step-by-step guides and I get documentation at the end. Not bad. Thanks, man.
So if you ever read a job description and think, I ain't ready for this, I don't check every box and they'll never hire me. That sounds familiar? You don't need to meet 100% of the requirements to apply. You just need to meet 60 to 70%. And that's enough because most companies, they're looking for someone who can grow into the role, not someone who's already perfect. Because think about it. If you have 100% of the skills, then ask yourself, how would you grow?
What do you think about that statement, Theo?
Stupid.
You're doing an interview about 70, 80%. What would you say? What would you say in regards to that?
I always say they ask for 10, you need to bring 12, and at work you do 2. That's it.
That's a good way to put it.
That's generally how it works. So they have on that JD, they have certain requirements you have to achieve or be superior to every single one of those requirements. And you need to have proper speech ops to talk about how you actually do them. And it can't sound like it's an interview, it has to sound casual. So the best interviews, the most intense ones, are conversations between you and the interviewer. You're just talking to each other. That's it. They don't even ask you anything. You just talk about your work. And they're evaluating every single word you're saying. So, because they know what's going on. So that's what you have to have ready. With the Kubernetes, just want you guys to know, that was actually pretty darn good explanation, speech ops for Kubernetes. Actually, I listened to it. I was like, wow, that's better than my speech ops for Kubernetes. I had never thought about explaining it that way. That was really good. So I was like, okay, I just learned something personally. The only thing that they didn't talk about was how do you do a deployment? Okay. And the deployment is you have to say your deployment is your infrastructure is Terraform and your actual containers are YAMLs. And as long as you say that, you understand that, because then the YAMLs can go to any cloud. It doesn't matter. It can go anywhere. As long as you know what the Terraform is versus your YAMLs, you're going to be okay. And they didn't say that. So I wouldn't have hired them first. I'd be like, talk to me about YAMLs. Like, why do you do it? What's your idea on YAMLs? How do you do your architecture of your YAMLs? But as long as he would have said that, then yeah, I would have hired them then. So almost good. If you're talking about, they're saying you only have to have 70% of the skills they want you to grow. Now, man, maybe for a CCP level, like $80,000 a year job, something like that, nah, that'll work there. But if you're doing 145, like I'm having with my students, you need to be good at that. Like that JD, you need to hit every single one of those points, like hard. And then if you can't, you need to have a strategy for how to show your best points and get the job despite. So it's kind of like me being overweight, but using my best qualities to land an 8.
Right.
Okay. Which I can do if I really get involved, right? It'd just be better for me to get on the treadmill and start losing the weight. But if I'm not, I know how to use my best points to compensate for my bad points. You have to know how to do this at the interview. That's a part of your speech ops game. If you don't,
Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Let's continue on. Good points, Theo. Thank you.
Yeah.
But here's what you can do to stand out, though. So you can highlight your cloud projects, so you can show that you can build and show that you can troubleshoot, not just study. Then you can tailor your resume. So you should match your experience to the key skills listed in the role, not what you want to showcase, but what they ask for. They literally tell you what they want in a candidate, and some of y'all don't even listen. Then apply even if you're not 100% ready, because the experience and growth that you need happens on the job.
If you want to update on
No. He's talking about somebody who's inexperienced. That's not how you do it. This is what I teach you guys to do in the class, all right? What you do is you need to anticipate what the company needs, and that's going to be on the JD. But you need to actually talk about how they're actually operating. And you got to say, based upon your operations and your IT needs and what you're doing, this is how I think you would solve the problem. And let me walk you through it. And so you just go step by step and talk about a solution for them and how their day-to-day would work and how they would be improved by hiring you and with your ideas. And you're going to be like, hey, I'm going to give you these ideas. Even if you hire somebody else, I want you to have these ideas. I want you to have these solutions. If you're confident like that, oh yeah, you're probably going to get the job. But if you're not, you're just answering interview questions, and they know you're kind of insufficient, so maybe they'll give you a Hail Mary pass. That's like getting pity sex from an 8.
Right.
You know what I mean? She pities you. She lets you hit it. But there's nothing, she knows if a better guy walks over, she's going to get that other guy. She's going to get rid of you. But if you got the solutions and you're actually talking to them on their level, they want to be around you. They might think you're indispensable. That's where you want to be.
There we go. We've heard from the best. Check this one out, Theo. You'll like this one too.
how my life is going. I'm so nervous that I want to shit myself. I'm not even kidding. I am a junior cloud engineer. I just design shit in AWS. I don't even actually code. I don't code at all. I haven't coded in 4+ years. I've all forgotten how to do it. I don't remember how to code at all. And I somehow networked myself into a senior developer position, and I have the final interview round tomorrow, and the final interview is going in person and coding in front of a team of people that have been coding in Java for 13 years, and I just learned the concepts of Java yesterday. I'm so nervous.
Hey, I want to hear what you had to say. He said, I'm going for the senior position He said, I've networked myself into senior position. I am going to interview in person in front of people that have been doing it for 13 years. And I just basically started learning this yesterday.
Okay. I always tell the students in the class, understand what you can do and what you can't do, and be realistic. If, for example, he's just learning these concepts, no, you're done. You've overstepped. They're good for the future. You're not going to go get that interview. It would be like me saying that I'm going to train for, like, you know, to be a bodybuilder, which I would like to do that.
Right.
And I'm going, okay, so I have all my equipment, right? And I'm just going to, okay, so they have like a competition tomorrow where all you do is like wear like a male bikini in the bottom, and I'm like shirtless after that.
Right.
And I'd be like, you know, no matter how much intermittent fasting I do between now and tomorrow, I think I should keep my shirt on. Okay? I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, you know, I don't have that physique. So those guys on there, you go in there, I've had students do this. They think like, oh yeah, I could do databases like as a pro in front of Indians tomorrow. And they've been doing it 10 years. I just learned what RDS is. I'm like, no, you're not going to do that. You're done. You're over. You're just going to embarrass yourself. Stop. It's over. Instead, what you need to do is write down what this is and make that into a 6-month to a 1-year goal to actually understand that. Then you're okay. But if it's something major, you need to start working on it. So that's a specialty area. It takes a little while. So like, again, let's see, like, okay, I said AWS infrastructure with Terraform, 4 hours a day, 6 months, then you can start doing something, right? Okay. Well, with database, it's kind of the same thing. If you really want to get good in databases, you have to do Oracle. Okay, so 4 hours a day, 6 months, then you can start thinking about that, right? If you really want to do Python architecture for applications, not doing like scripting, something like that, which is easy to do. You want to do actually do applications in Python, 4 hours a day, 6 months, then you can start thinking about getting a job, right? But until then, no, man, this isn't going to work. It's nice to have, but it's not going to happen.
And I look at it from that perspective also, and that's why a lot of these clips I threw in there on purpose, and that's why I wanted to get your reaction to these scenarios that they're giving, so we can get updated, real responses, what was really taking place, so none of us will be kind of like thrown off when we're looking at TikTok videos or YouTube videos and we're thinking that it's supposed to be this way, and then we find out that the reality is that is really not that particular way.
Like you said, like, yeah, I cursed those Indians all the way home, but it was my fault. Yeah, of course. Yeah, because you overstepped yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they're not playing around.
Yes, sir. Let's go to the next video. We'll finish off this one to the next one.
I feel it in my stomach, like my hands are shaking, my heart is pounding. I literally have to shit myself. I've already shit myself twice today, just from being nervous. That's how my life is going right now.
Yo, so I completely understand failing interviews. I'm gonna be completely honest. I can produce work. I can make prototypes and get a prototype out there very quickly, and I can pick up a lot of tech. So I can go from not knowing something to
this guy went, just in case you guys are wondering, this guy went from I think he's been into tech like for 3-4 years, right? He used to be a bike courier in New York. He used to be the guy that just delivers mail from business to business, riding a bicycle in New York. And now he's traveling the world in tech and just doing this thing. And as you can tell that he's getting offers and interviews. Like he said, the last job that offered him 100% 401k. We're just talking about a dude that was just a few years ago riding a bicycle. Now he said, I ride my bike throughout Europe now just to ride, just to exercise.
having a product in the next couple of days. This is something that startups usually look for because they want somebody that can deliver fast. As for interviewing, I suck 100% at interviewing. The problem with interviewing as a software engineer is that you don't know what you're going to get interviewed on, right? So my point is, these interviews are hard The more you fail, the more comfortable you're going to get with talking, the more comfortable you're going to get with figuring out problems in the
before you go
fly and all that stuff. So you don't need to
okay
go crazy studying with data structures and algorithms. Another technical.
Okay, I'm going to hear what you have to say about that.
Okay, let's just talk real quick. Let's talk basic game, because you have pretty good game. I'm sure you understand that if you're talking to a woman, you're single, go back in the day, you're talking to a woman you know is outside your league, you can just focus on other points and not her beauty and not your weak points. So you just focus on other things and talk about them and just be normal and get her to unwind, because there should be like, wow, I'm actually talking to someone who's not all about my beauty, but he's just being normal and we're just having fun. That's the only opportunity you're going to have, because you know she's got 10,000 other guys who want to bang her out, right? It's the same kind of thing with these interviews, okay? So if what you have to do is you know they're going to ask a lot of questions, but you can go there and have 4 or 5 examples of code or of something in tech that you can do that you think is valuable to that interviewer. And so you just go in there, you can prepare them. So like say 5 days before that interview, you can almost become an expert on those 5 points. It's all you do is those 5 points. Then you get to the interview and you sit there and you start talking about those 5 points, or just 1 or 2 of them, and kind of feel how they are appropriate to the company. And at that point, you're actually controlling the conversation. And then you just keep on talking and just being kind of nonchalant. Well, they only have 30 minutes to talk to you, right? So if they bring in some of their points, but you're kind of giving some of your points to them, and they see that there's an exchange going on, at least you'll make it to the next interview. Whereas the other guys who sat there and were only thinking about being interviewed, they're going to stutter, they're going to lose their mind, and they're going to be like a guy looking at a woman's rack instead of looking at her eyes, and he's going to lose the date. They're going to lose the interview. Basic, guys. See, I know my game with women too. I know what I'm doing. It doesn't always look like that, but I'm like, oh yeah, I know how to get through this. All right. So that's why I say, guys, you have to know what you're doing and how he's talking in a way to lose. That's not how you do it. You got to go in there, bring some good points to them, see how it works for their delivery, what they need, and then they have a little less time. Then you go through the interview process. And if they like you, again, at least they go to your next round. That means you have 48, 72 hours more to prepare for the next round. Good. True. So then if you get 2 or 3 more points that you just know everything about, maybe you'll get the job. That's how you have to think. You need to buy time. The way that guy thought, nah, man. Nah, that's copium. That's a cope strategy.
Ah.
Go interview today at 4. Today's a crazy day. You go from 0 to everything. This is just tech. It is what it is.
We're on the last section, guys. Number 7. Your future is tech. How to get over the fear. We're going to be looking at some of the fears, the opportunities, but what's the future of tech and cloud engineering, networking, and so forth? Where's it going? We're going to look at that right now.
Opinion, here are 3 areas in tech that are not yet oversaturated. First is cloud computing or cloud engineering. This is a field in tech where most new developers are scared of going into because it seems very difficult, while in reality it's not really that difficult if you dedicate enough time to learning it. Second is DevOps and automation. Honestly, I don't understand how and why this field is undersaturated. It's popular, it's not difficult, it's very easy to get into, but no one is giving it that much attention. And I guess it's because there are really not many tech creators or influencers pushing it in the tech community. Lastly, AI engineering. I think we all expected this one. I feel like AI is still trying to find its place in the tech industry, and companies are also trying to include AI into their business operation. So it's still fairly new, and the AI engineering role doesn't really have that much attention to it yet. But aside these three areas I just mentioned, there are other areas in tech that are also undersaturated. But these were the three areas in tech people think are undersaturated. But also, let me know what your opinion is. What are the three areas in tech you feel is undersaturated? Let us know in the comments.
Okay.
Okay, so AI engineering depends on DevOps. You're not going to do AI engineering without DevOps. Ain't going to happen, because you have to have what's called ML ops, which is machine learning ops. You got to put your AI through a pipeline. You're not doing this like any other way. Any company who's doing AI engineering has a very hardcore DevOps operation. So they all go together as far as I'm concerned. Of course, I'm teaching this in the class, just of course that's saying class 7, this is where we're going. You have to have all of these points. What I say is that the future you're going to have, what you're looking at is AI cloud engineers or AI security cloud engineers, something like that. Or AI, well, there could be data engineers too, but it's going to be data engineers for the purpose of machine learning and AI. That's how it's going to work in the next 2 to 5 years, and that's going to be the frontier of blue ocean. So, $160,000 to $220,000 a year jobs. That's where you need to go.
So much of the three that he just mentioned, just to paraphrase what you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, much of what he mentioned of the three different areas of cloud engineering being opportunities, DevOps opportunities, and AI or machine learning opportunities are some of the things that we're going to be learning in class.
Yeah. See, it's AI engineering. It's actually how you deploy AI, or you connect your applications to your AI. You need to have all of this. You need to have all of it done according to a pipeline. Yeah, if you develop your AI internally, which is what I'm teaching for the advanced AI course. If you do it internally, then you need to know the hardware, and I'm actually teaching that as well. So it's what I say is that what you need to do is have your own private cloud, which you do that with OpenStack, and then you make your own regions for your company, and then you deploy AI on the hardware, and then use agentic AI to extend AI to your applications. That's the best architecture. But this is, again, all AI engineering. It requires DevOps. The deployment is done through a DevOps pipeline. And the reason why it's not popular is because Jenkins in particular is cumbersome. It's boring. I mean, it is boring. I hate Jenkins. I use it every single day, but I hate Jenkins. It is just blah. And I have to get better at it myself. So in the class, we're going to teach guys how to get certified in Jenkins, which is very few people get certified in Jenkins. But I want my students to be certified in Jenkins, to come out to interviews and say, I know how to do this not only for cloud, but I can do Jenkins for AI as well. That's what they need.
All right. Be ready for Jenkins coming down the turnpike.
Dude, you're going to hate life so much when we do it, Andre. I'm just serious. It's going to be like 2 months. Just be happy you're married. You're so fortunate.
There we go.
I'll actually get weak during that time. Like Columbia could probably get me then.
There we go.
And don't forget to follow for more.
What's going on, guys? Why would I pick network engineering over cybersecurity, especially if you're new? So if you guys don't know, network engineering, we're configuring routers, switches, firewalls, access points, these physical hardware equipments.
Just in case you guys are wondering, this is Theo's specialty, in other words, networking.
That we touch. Basically, these devices help us connect the world together. So you're watching this video on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you're seeing this, you're watching this video because of networking, right? There's fiber optical cables that's sending traffic and data to you in real time, and it's happening in milliseconds, right? So that's what we do.
Now, if you still think that a cloud engineer just sits behind a laptop all day, you're dead wrong. I mean, all right, maybe you're right, but you're sleeping on a 6-figure bag if you continue to let that thought stop you. So let me show you why. Now, I've been personally working in the cloud game for about 7 years, and honestly, it's hands down one of the most dopest, most flexible, highest paying tech careers out here right now. Some of you can make 6 figures from the start. I did, but it all just depends on the company you work for. And if you don't, okay, so what if you start off at 70, 80, or even 90? It's only up from here.
That's in tech. Network.
All right. I knew you were going to have something to say about that.
Oh, there's talk so weak. They talk so weak. Okay, let's be honest here. Okay, so if you're doing security requires you to know something first. If people think they're going to go directly into security, I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you securing? Do you even know what to secure?
Good point. Good point.
So if you're not building anything, why do you have security? It's like having fire extinguishers, but you have no house. Well, where's the fire going to be? What are you talking about? So you first need to do, like I did network first, and then I did security. So this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, fine. You're going to do some Cisco routers, right? Okay, that's fine. Meraki and things like that. Do that. Knock yourself out. But then you're going to go into security afterwards, because network security is where the real money is. Not in security, not in networking. They could almost hire anyone to do networking. It's not, networking essentially is not blue ocean. It's red ocean right now.
Wow.
Just the way it is. Yeah. It's a basic skill set. If you're doing CCNP, even that, it's got a mid-level certification. That's like $80,000 a year max in the United States. Like if you get above that, you're lucky. If that's all you're doing is networking, they really don't need. They can hire an Indian to do that, right? So you have to have like network security, because then you get the added bonus. And then if you're doing a lot with that in that area, then you can get to $120,000, $150,000 a year. But just networking, they don't need that. That's not so necessary. The guy that I was going into cloud, starting at 70,000. Like, what are you talking about, bro? No, that's somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. That's coming in with like not an abundance mindset or even being prepared. You're doing bare minimum. I have students who do this. They actually said like, oh yeah, I passed like SAA and I got a job for $60,000 a year, and I sat there for a while. I'm like, where's my baseball bat? Why are you doing this to yourself? Why? And then, well, I just wanted to get experience. What do you mean experience? You're not getting paid. You're worth more than that. Stop it. Stop it. What are you doing? Well, so what? Do you have like Keisha and her 3 kids with 3 baby daddies too? I mean, that's what you're dealing with? I wouldn't be surprised if that's what's actually going on. So get your confidence up. Go get the better job. For heaven's sakes. Oh. Anyway, I've spoken. It's enough.
Ninja says this. He said, how do you do security if you don't intrinsically understand the weak points within the house? He said, you can't. That's the point. Security requires knowledge of what you're securing. That's an excellent point. Excellent point. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Yes, sir.
Like you got to know it. So, I when these people say like I want an entry-level security job, I'm like, what are you talking about? Or I had somebody say I want an entry-level AI job. I'm like, what? Delusion? Is there a delusional job you can get? Like, because there's no entry-level AI. You have to have fundamental skills first, and actually like mid-level to advanced level skills after that. Then you can start thinking about doing some AI. Until then, no, man, it's not going to happen. Unless you have like, you're a proper teacher, you're going through a program that you could do it.
Good point. I just dropped the link, gentlemen. We got 113 people in the building. At least 70 of you guys. Do me a favor real quick. Make sure you subscribe to Andrea's channel. Andrea's channel over there. She's got over 4,000, almost 5,000 subscribers on her channel. Shout out to all you guys that are watching the live stream from Andrea's channel. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel real quick for your girl, Andrea. Shout out to all you guys. She got a lot of great content over there for you guys when it comes to the ladies in Colombia. Shout out to you guys. Let's get back to the video. We don't have too much. This is our number 7 segment. So this is our last segment that we're looking at tonight.
Engineering is the easiest path in tech right now, as opposed to cloud, as opposed to data, as opposed to all these other fields, for one particular reason. There is very little competition in the world of network engineering. As opposed to cloud, as opposed to data, as opposed to all these other fields, there's very little competition. And that is a huge advantage for us network engineers because the job market is much easier.
Oh yeah, the head has gone down, gentlemen. So let's see what the thoughts of Theo Wolf has to say in regards to cloud engineering.
They have what the other guy was saying, like 500,000 positions in cloud that aren't being met. Whereas networking, Cisco networking has been around since 1998. Its heyday has come and gone. We already have all the networks deployed. We're just talking about upgrades right now. That's it. Whereas less than 20% of companies in the United States have access, are utilizing the cloud right now. So where's your growth? It's going to be the cloud. So he's talking right now. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? Honestly, what are you saying? There's fiber already underneath the road. Okay? All the houses have basic connections already there. Your skyscrapers already have Cisco, Foundry, or something like that, Juniper networks. They're already set there. So what are you talking about? They already have the guys done it. That's already been done. It's already been rolled out. What? He's delusional. Yeah, I don't know. That's a real delusion right there. There's plenty of Cisco engineers running around.
Okay.
And that's exactly how a lot of my students were able to land jobs as a network engineer with zero IT experience.
If you were a young cloud engineer and you were just getting started, why is learning networking important?
Well, first off, networking is hard. Networking kind of underpins the overall workload communication. So if you have instances or applications or databases or generative AI type models and stuff, those communications need to go from one place to another. In order to do that, we have cloud networking capabilities on AWS, which are somewhat different compared to what you have with on-prem routers, switches, and other things like that. And so one of the key differentiators that if you actually can come in and actually understand the networking, it kind of gives you that foot forward because you can actually have intelligent conversations with people of, oh yeah, you're looking to build this 3-tier web application where you're looking to use this managed service from AWS, how are you looking to connect your VPCs? How
it becomes the foundation.
It becomes the foundation for it.
Hey, if you think AI is killing cloud jobs, then somebody's telling you the wrong thing.
Correct.
They were correct.
Okay. So let me talk about this first. So when it comes to routing, what you need to have is CCNP routing CCNP Enterprise and CCNP Advanced Routing. Those are the two areas because it has a lot of BGP. If you know BGP really well, then you can do integration with the cloud easily. And the backbone of this is what we call SD-WAN, software-defined WAN. So it's using software basically in order to get connectivity from your data center to the cloud. It's a specialized skill, and it does require some time to actually learn it. If you can get it, okay, now you have something. But see what I mean? You have to have, this is advanced. You have to have BGP with SD-WAN with cloud, and no BGP in the cloud. And if you can do that, boom, you've got a specialty blue ocean, but it takes a long time to get there. This is why the other guy talking, if he's talking like the way he was talking, that's such basic knowledge about networking. No, man. Next one, AI killing cloud jobs. No, man, get out of here. No,
that's what he's about to say. He's about to say the same thing that
he was about. Okay, yeah. If he's talking he's talking crazy because there's so like AI, there's so much deployment of AI that's necessary in the cloud. If you're doing that, man, you could be eating well for the next 10 years at least.
Yep, that's what he's about to say. The same thing. But Official Kobe had something for you. He said, "Can you get a little more into detail about the classes that you still have available?"
Okay, so the class that starts next week is going to be the Cisco course. It lasts 2 years, and it's going to be the CCNP. So it's focusing on CCNP Enterprise, security, and advanced routing, which is basically data center. It's how to create your own AZs. Then the main focus on there, the ultimate goal, is a CCDE, which is the Certified Design Expert, focusing on how to design AI in the data center. Okay, that's why it's going to take 2 years. If you can get that and you're doing AI and then you know how to deploy, like you can actually help a company do the hardware deployment of AI, that's very lucrative because not many people are doing that. But it's a very remote skill, a very, very rare skill. So that's one class I'm doing. I'm doing the advanced AI course that's going to start at the end of this month, but it really is for a limited amount of students. So no, I don't think I'll be getting that one. GCP is going to start in March, and that's going to be at least an 18-month course, if not 2 years. And then next year in Vegas, we'll be starting another course with another cloud, and it's going to teach you basically how to do Microsoft cloud infrastructure, and going to focus on IAM. So we're developing that course right now. So those are the three that we do have available at this time.
Okay. And in order to reach out to you or get in contact with anybody in your groups to get into class, what steps would that person take to get in contact with somebody out tonight?
Well, first go to your Patreon, because then you can always ask at your Patreon, and I can give you answers there. Sure. Go to blackmanosphere.com. There's an admin. Just send queries to the admin and say, what do I do next? You can get there. You can email me. I'm kind of easy, theowaff@gmail.com. Or if there's an admin still there in your chat, you just go to the Facebook group, and we can add you to the Facebook group for the registration. We have a Facebook group for registering new students. So you can go there, and we can talk to you there at least a little bit and tell you what's going on.
True. All right, guys. I've been dropping the Patreon link for you guys all evening as well, so you can join. And like I said, I have all this information, everything that we're going to go over, that we've been going over tonight, the websites, and I have a lot more other sites that I want to share with you guys as well. That's going to be in the Patreon. This live stream is coming down. It's going to be in the Patreon. So if Guy wasn't here tonight, yeah, he's going to have to come to Patreon to get to this particular, and I'm going to promote it a lot to get this particular segment tonight. So shout out to all you guys that are here and getting all this information now. But shout out to all you guys that support by way of PayPal, Cash App, Super Chats, as well as PayPal. Let's get to what the brother has to say that agrees with Theo in regards to, is AI killing? He said the Patreon link isn't working. Let me double check. Thank you very much for letting me know. Let me double check. Let me paste this and let me drop a different link. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, you're right. It isn't working. Let me drop a different link. Let me go here and here. And there. So thanks for letting me know about the link. Oh yeah, gentlemen. You know I got our backs. So let's see what the brother has to say as well.
Look, AI is not the inner cloud. It's actually helping cloud explode. Let me tell you what I mean. Tools that you may have heard of like Copilot, Claude, or even Bedrock, they're cutting the busy work for engineers. So this means they're clearing space so they can focus more on strategy, scale, and security. So system design. Now, there's a report from McKinsey that says that AI cuts low-level tasks by 50%. So what happens next? Well, you're going to start seeing new titles now. AI infrastructure architect, cloud AI engineer, which you've probably already been seeing. Even vibe coding roles will probably open up because Meta just announced that they are allowing engineers to even use AI doing coding assessments for the job. And guess what? Job searches for cloud and AI are up 57% in a year. That's crazy. Now, engineers who learn how to move with AI, they're going to level up fast and get the bag. Because for the most part, if we didn't have cloud, we wouldn't have ChatGPT, Grok, Claude, none of that, period. So that's why AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, they all reported double-digit growth off of AI usage alone. So sit back. AI ain't taking your shot. It's going to help you increase your chances with it. But you got to move with this thing, not against it. That's my advice. It's time to level up.
Okay. So you agree with his analogy?
Yeah, so I'm actually, to be honest, I'm redesigning part of the AWS course so that you can actually use AI within Visual Studio Code. And then it'll help you code Terraform and actually tell you what different problems that you're doing while you're coding. And then also give you help with Python. So this will help you become a more productive engineer. The issue is that if you depend on this for your coding, you will die. You will not get the job. But if you use it as a tool to help you, then you will get the job. So I recognize this. I'm going to be giving this over to the students. My problem is, as a teacher, I'm aware that there will be students who only use this instead of using their brains, and they won't get jobs. It's just the way it is. It's like, you know, we did binary last night, right? So if you use Google and a calculator to do binary and you can't do it in your head, it's not going to happen, right? So there are guys I know who are going to be using AI to do all of their coding, all of their Terraform, everything, and it won't take that long for them to be exposed as frauds, and they won't get jobs. So I know this, but what he's talking about are kind of like what I call AI-enabled engineers, and I know they're the future. And if you guys don't, if the students are not having that kind of skill set, they're going to be in trouble. So I have to teach it in the class.
All right. Thank you very much for that information. Let's continue on. Let's finish off the last part of the videos. And this section is for the future of what's taking place, as well as helping many of us overcome fears, such as, is AI going to take over cloud? We've already debunked that. So let's continue on. Let's go here.
Hey, to be honest with you, I thought it was too slow for this tech stuff. Like the first time I opened VS Code, I just stared at it. I froze. And I shut that shit right back down.
This is absolutely fact. So many people want the entire roadmap. They want their 5-year plan before they've even started. Anyone who is in tech right now went through a phase of feeling like an imposter, not knowing where to start, not knowing which project to do. That's why I always recommend actually just getting your hands on, getting dirty, getting down in it. Do projects. Start with any of these projects. Do the free ones. Because the thing is, you need to actually understand if this is even a career you want to pursue. Most of you are out here planning your entire career, planning your 10-year plans, when you don't even know if this is something you even like. So just start doing a project. Go to learn.nextwork.org and do the beginner series. It'll take you less than a few hours and you will not regret it. As you do every single project, make sure that you document what you're doing. So there's going to be boxes there. Make sure you write in what you're learning, add in screenshots, because at the end you get documentation that you can then show to recruiters. This is the way to stand out in this job market. You actually need to document what you're doing so you can show it to people. Gone are the days where people just believe whatever you write on your resume or some random certification that you got. People actually want to see their use case. So make sure that's what you're doing.
Ever feel like an imposter in tech? I did too. Every single day when I was starting out, I thought everyone else is smarter. Everyone else gets this faster than me. But here's the truth. Every engineer you look up to once had no idea what they were doing. The only difference is they kept going. The first time I spun up a server, it broke. The first time I set up a database, it crashed. And that's normal. Mistakes are part of the job. Follow me if you need that reminder and send me the word tech and I'll send you my free starter guide to help you push past imposter syndrome and actually start building. Because I tell my students this all the time. Confidence doesn't come first. It comes after you try, fail, and try again.
If you're on your journey in tech.
What do you say about that, Theo?
No, that's entirely correct. I mean, it's like, again, we're talking about women, right? It's like thinking that you're going to be with a woman and know everything about her body, know exactly how to do everything from the beginning. For the most of us, we're not going to know that. Just the way it is. You screw up a few times, and if she loves you, then she's going to still continue the relationship, and then you're like, oh, okay, I know what I'm doing now. Okay, it takes a few times. But it's the way it is. It's how a relationship is.
True.
Do you know how many times I screw up in tech? Okay, we do deployments in Jenkins. we screw up all the time. There's actually a number every time we screw up. Like the job, it has a number of increments. So it's not, like in one day, we might have 30 or 40 numbers added. And everybody can see it that's what happened. We failed like 30 times. And we're like, yeah, we did. Just the way it was. I had to learn how to do things. There are things I screw up so badly in the job sometimes, it doesn't even matter. I told you guys in class, I was doing this VPN solution. I screwed up every single day 4 months. I had cortisol attacks over this. I was insane over that. Because the way for me to do it was so hard. It's just not the way you're supposed to do a VPN. I finally got that thing working after 4 months. I sat there 2 days. For 2 weeks, I sat on the job unable to do anything. I was frozen because it worked. I couldn't believe it. So I went kind of like a reverse shock. I was like, yeah, you guys are giving me 2 weeks of paid vacation of me sitting here for the hell you just put me through. So that's the way it was. And I just got the second part of the VPN working last week. I can't believe what they did to me. And it finally worked. And
so this is recent.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. They're making me do this hell projects, not just databases, other stuff too. That's normal. You live and learn. I'll just be honest with you guys. When I was in my 30s, I was an alcoholic for a while. Well, officially, after I lost my wife.
Right,
so when I was doing IT projects, I had a bottle of beer with me every single time. That's the only way I could work. And I had to wean myself off of that. Actually, I went cold turkey, got rid of all the alcohol. And I actually had to learn how to be professional in IT without drinking a drop of alcohol. That was hard. But I did it. I drank a lot of water. You can see I always have my bottle for water, right? My cup for water. So you got to get through it. You got to get through the stress. And I did. It's not that hard. It takes a while, but you guys will be able to do it.
That's great. Jay says this. Shout out to Jay in Colombia with the 20,000 pesos. He says, my career in IT was 30 years before I got tired and retired. He say from mainframe days to client servers to virtualization. He said, but you guys inspire me when I hear you talk tech, especially at this stage of hearing brothers just talking tech in general. You don't often see that. So shout out to you.
Well, I just want to say to him again, to Jay, thanks for being here. I'm sure you recognize this book if you did mainframes 30 years ago.
Wow.
And we're going to be creating what I call a small specialized language model based on COBOL and how to do implementations of COBOL to the cloud, automated.
All right.
And that's going to start in 2027. That's going to be a very intense course. But if you do mainframes, you want to know how to do a migration to the cloud, come talk to me, because that's what we're going to be doing.
There we go. There we go. Shout out to you, Theo.
And this is some great advice from this guy, an account manager at AWS. Just listen to this.
Most people always want to get 100% of the information before they act, before they move. They need to.
This gentleman, his dream was to work for AWS. Long before he even really got deep into cloud and all the things that he does now, his dream, his goal was, you know what? Eventually, after I get hired and I build my career, I want to work for AWS. And now, over the last 5-6 years, this guy literally works for AWS. So his information you want to listen to as thoroughly as often we listen to Theo. Here we go. And so he's giving his information on how he got started.
No, this and that and that. I'd be like, no, you need to have a bias for action. Even when you don't have all the answers, you need to go ahead and move and start and begin the journey. That is how I've been able to do almost everything. And I've been able to figure it out on the way. So a lot of the accomplishments you see, when I look back, I didn't have a clue how I was going to do it, but I just started. I'm like, okay, I want to achieve this goal. What can I do right now to help me achieve it with the information I have, and just move forward? Doing and not talking, not wasting your time talking. A lot of people talk, but there's not a lot of people doing. Trust me, there's not a lot of people doing. You may think there's a lot of people doing, but there's not a lot. When you are doing, when you go inside interviews, it will show. When you speak, it will show. When you post, it will show. You have to just focus on doing, which also ties into bias for action, right? Make sure you're doing some type of act, saving a bunch of bookmarking YouTube videos. Stop bookmarking and actually start doing those things.
I want to tell you a story.
There's a good story coming up too. Let's go.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And it's better to work in a group and other people are doing things, and then you're checking their work and they're checking your work. You're kind of going back and forth and bouncing off of each other. That's the way to really do it. Working in a vacuum is so much more difficult to do.
Yeah. John C has a question for you. Shout out to John. John says this. He said, question for Theo. Is Linux good to learn before doing cloud engineering?
It's a basic question. Just learn it. If you want to go into tech, learn Linux. That's it.
There you go. There you go. And shout out to International Quiet Storm in the building. He said, you guys get the benefit of learning together. That's so true. When you work in a group, you get the benefits of learning together. And Simon says this. See, I've had days when I worked in the office past midnight and come into the week, come on the weekends because the work had to get done. He said, I had to figure it out no matter what. Absolutely.
Yeah. I've had that too, where we were happy that Monday was over 48 hours away, but we know 8 o'clock on Monday, it has to be functional. That means my Friday night is gone. So I had to start right then and there. Friday night, work all night. Saturday morning, start, keep on going. Sunday, have to keep on going until it's done. Your weekend's gone. I always say to my students who have a hard time with this, I said, well, I mean, you can always go back to being a carpet cleaner or, sewer cleaner or something like that, or, sleeping on Keisha's sofa. If you really want that. Right. I mean, but if you're going to have a career, that means sometimes your time is gone. But you can live where you want. You can have the woman of your dreams. So what do you want?
Excellent point. Excellent point. Let's finish off this last part. The brother's about to tell, this guy's about to tell a story, a true story that took place.
About how someone went from being a janitor to an IT lead in 48 hours. I know it sounds fake, but this is a true story. He is actually a US cybersecurity master's student. This guy couldn't find a job and he needed to pay his bills somehow, so he landed a job as a janitor. About 3 weeks before that, he had joined our community and he had started doing some hands-on projects, but we'll get to that in a bit. So he starts his job as a janitor. Day one, completely normal day, just getting into the routine of things. And day two comes along, he's in the marketing department and he's mopping the floors, and he hears someone in the marketing department talking about this website build that they were doing and they were struggling with it. And he thought, oh, I actually did something similar to this. So he went up to them and he said, hey, I heard you were talking about this website build. And they kind of pushed him off a little bit, but he said, oh, I actually did a project on this last week. And he pulled out his portfolio and showed them. He showed them the work that he had done, and the only reason he could do this is because he documented his work. They were so impressed. They were like, this is exactly what we need, that they said on the spot, why are you a janitor?
Before we go any further, I saw you nod your head in regards to document your projects on what you're doing, the steps that you've been taking.
Yeah, you can't possibly remember, so you need to document why you're going, and the better you do it, the better it is. Because then when you go into actually implementation, you're just going to want to say, what do I need to implement right now in order to show them what you can do? So this is kind of, it's time relevant. It's just It's just time relevant. That's all. I would say that if we're talking about dating, it'd be akin to making sure you have $100 in your wallet at all times, just in case some sexy thing walks by and you're like, hey, like, do you want to have a cup of coffee or something like that, or grab a little bit to eat because you only have $100. But it is something you've got the cash, you can actually do it. That's like kind of like a documentation. It's like you always have a backup. You can always just implement it immediately. I'm a so-so documenter. Sometimes I do it really well. Sometimes I don't. It really depends. If you take screenshots and you're putting the documentation at the same time, you will always have that process. It's yours forever. So that's the best way of doing it.
There we go. All right. We're almost done, gentlemen.
I actually think that you should be leading this project. Do you want to become our IT lead? Because that school was filled and they kind of like pushed him off a little bit. But he said, I actually did a project on this last week, and he pulled out his portfolio and showed them. He showed them the work that he had done, and the only reason he could do this is because he documented his work. They were so impressed. They were like, this is exactly what we need, that they said on the spot, why are you a janitor? I actually think that you should be leading this project. Do you want to become our IT lead? Because that school was looking for an IT lead at the time that was unknown to him, and he had just taken a chance, taken a job as a janitor, and then ended up landing this role as an IT lead on the second day of his job. But maybe for you, maybe you're going for a cloud engineer position, but right now you can only get a cloud support engineer position. Maybe it's worth taking that job so you can leverage it, you can work your way up in the company, because who knows what opportunities will arise.
Looks like you want to get a role in cloud computing. You consider yourself a beginner. You have no technical experience. Listen, I want to be honest with you. Anytime you hear somebody say, oh yeah, you can get certified in 3 weeks and be making 6 figures in 6 months, listen, that's a red flag. I don't want to discourage you. I just want to paint a real picture. It's going to be a challenge, but it's not going to be impossible.
I'm 40. I got into tech at 33. I work 9 to 5 as a cloud trainer, and I run my own cloud training program called Level Up in Tech. I built my dream home. I bought some of my dream cars. And I've also taken losses, though, like big ones. Like, am I going to come back from this type shit? But through every win and every L I took, I learned a shit ton over these last 7 years in tech. Nah, this path wasn't overnight. I didn't take any shortcuts. I literally just showed up daily. I kept growing, and I kept betting on myself. Now, if I can tell my 18-year-old self anything, it'll be this simple. You are going to take hits. You are going to doubt yourself. But if you stay learning, you stay solid, you keep showing up, this shit is going to pay off. Hey, to be honest with you, I thought it was too slow for this tech stuff. Like, the first time I opened VS Code, I just stared at it. I froze. And I shut that shit right back down. Everyone around me looked like they had a cheat code. Meanwhile, I'm over here 30 minutes deep trying to figure out why my code won't run. And I forgot to hit save. And you ever feel like tech just ain't clicking? Like you're the only one not getting it? So this right here that I'm showing you, this is the real journey of cloud engineers.
Let's look at this. He said, this is the real journey. He said, you feel lost. Then you get to the point where you start to get it. And then his next stage is building projects. Oh, I get it. What do you say about that, Theo? Because that's how I feel at times. This particular flow of the J curve. You feel lost, and then you start to get it, and then you like a lot of stuff start clicking slowly but surely.
It should be feeling lost, talking to somebody about how you feel, hearing their experience, and recognizing that you're both in the same position. Then you try doing something, you learn a little bit more, then the other person learns a bit more.
Right.
You feel like you can do it, then you have an eureka moment. You're like, oh yeah, I got it. Yeah, it works. Yeah, now I know what I need to do. And then you get it. That's the way it works. Yeah.
Right.
What he said about saving, I yell at the students all the time about this. Yeah, when we go into Terraform and like Visual Code, I'm gonna have this all the time. In fact, if I could have a a sticky note on people's computers. It'll say, "Did you press save? Did you save?" Okay, because if you don't save, it won't deploy. This is one of the most difficult concepts that students have. You have to put your code into a folder, and after you modify your code, you have to save it.
There you go.
I'm serious. I would say about 40% of the students can't figure that out. I'm like, okay.
So guys, you heard it here. Save.
Yeah, it's save. You got to save. Did you press save? You'll see me in class sometimes. Like, I'll do a deployment. I'm like, wait a minute, this didn't work right. What's going on? Oh, I didn't press save. Okay, I need to go do that. I work like professionally. I'm doing like this huge deployment. Like somebody, either me or somebody else, or the other developers, it didn't work right. What happened? Oh, we didn't press save. Oh, that's why. Like, it happens. All right. So just get used to it.
There we go.
I do not love autosave. That's one thing. I don't do autosave.
Sure you do.
I control my save. I want to know, because if you screw up and you do an autosave, then that which works gets deleted.
Wow.
So you don't want that. Yeah.
Future cloud engineers, aspiring cloud engineers, whatever you call yourself. Because they don't post this part, right? They don't post the doubt. They don't post the troubleshooting. They don't post the I want to quit days. But you don't skip to stage 4. You got to earn that. You earn it by one confusing project at a time, one YouTube tutorial, one little win that keeps you in the game. So if you're in stage 1 right now feeling lost, keep going. You're in the part of the story where champions are made, and you next. So I want y'all to like this video and share this with someone that's still grinding, okay? Let's continue to build each other and help each other level up. Let's go.
All right, and that's the end of the video section.
I just want to say this. I want to say this real quick. So if you're working, and like, sometimes you're going to fail really badly, and you're going to fail to such a degree you're surprised you still have a paycheck, and that'll inspire you to work harder. And it happens to all of us. It happened to me all summer. I didn't know. I couldn't believe I was still employed, but I made it through, and now I'm doing deployments that I never thought I would do, and releases I never thought I would do, and they depend on me to get them done. I'm like, wow, this is incredible. So you do get the reward. You do need to reward yourself. So if I have a particularly hard deployment or a hard week, my next payday, it probably 100% devoted to me. So whatever I want, because I maybe like I was going to lose my job, so I wasn't even going to have a salary anyway. So let's use my entire salary for myself. And I do that every once in a while. It's not maybe like once a year or something like that, right?
Right,
So
right.
it depends on how good of a payday it is. I mean, if I'm really working hard, like a lot of places, then maybe it's like a $12,000 payday. So it's gym equipment, more gym equipment, right? But I go out and treat myself well. The thing is, I'm saying to the people who are listening is, you do need to know how to maintain yourself, and you need to understand what maintenance is. So you just need to be honest with yourself. Is it a person? Is it alcohol? I'm serious, because sometimes it's going to be alcohol. Is it going outside and exercising? For me, a lot of times it's cycling also. I love to ride my bike. Is it buying earphones? This is one thing. I like earphones. I buy more earphones all the time. You have to determine what it's going to be for you. I don't know what it's going to be, but you need to know what it is for your own maintenance. Because if you really suffer and it's hard in the job, if you don't treat yourself a little bit well, you're going to burn out. So make sure you know how to maintain yourself.
There we go. Well, I just want to say, on behalf of all the gentlemen that are here this evening, just want to say thank you for being here and giving us the correct way of seeing things as we just went through the journey of the opportunities. We got a chance to learn that this is an ageless industry. So all you guys that are worried about your age from 70 on down, stop doing that. We got a chance to hear from Theo when it comes to the importance of doing projects. and documenting and steps like that. We also got a chance to hear what he had to say in regards to the interview process. All of this information, this full interview, will be posted in the Patreon. The Patreon allows you to not only see that, especially when you go to the $15 tier, you will be able to not only get a copy of all the books that I've written, including the 2 books that I have coming down the turnpike. You get all those for free in the Patreon. You also get a chance to see when we talked about government contract jobs, the step-by-step process of if you want to work for the government or want to work for a company outside of the United States, what steps do you need to take? We have that video off in there as well. We have so many videos in regards to relocating, getting a visa in another country. All that is inside of the Patreon. I'm sorry, we're not a Patreon that has a bunch of pay for play in there and how to get the coochie in Colombia. I'm sorry. You got too many YouTubers that are already showing you how to do that. So we figured we put together a Patreon website that allows you to go from couch to country. In other words, whatever country you want to go to, we literally walk you from your couch to the dream country that you need to be in. And that's what our Patreon is dedicated to. So if you guys want to support the channel as well as get all that information, I promise you it is there in the Patreon, including this live stream for tonight, that if you want to share it with someone else, or if you want to watch it again and just take notes all over again, you'll be able to do that as a Patreon member. So shout out to all you guys that were here. I know, Jay. You do. You got most content creators that are in our genre as black men. Most of the time they're gonna sell you on, here's my Patreon with a bunch of big booties and a bunch of ladies, and I'm gonna tell you how me and the ladies did this. And so that's cool, nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to the serious side of relocating to another country, that's why Andre and Andrea Love Crossing Borders exist. We do not waste your time just showing you the ladies, but we try to show you how to actually live in these countries no matter where they are.
I need to say this one point. So I'm actually looking for this real quick. You need to understand why you're doing this. And you need to have, what I always say is you need to have some sort of photo. You need to put it around your house. And if you don't, when you go crazy, in particular when it gets hard and you fail, you will give up. I guarantee you, you will give up. So I'll give you an example. This is, this is one of my machines that I wanted to buy, and you can see when I printed it, it's you can see over there, it's October 24th, 2020.
Right. Okay?
And so I had to look for this. I actually took it down because I actually bought the upgrade for this. I have it. So if you don't have your a reason of why you're doing it, like posted someplace, you're going to give up. But if you do, one of the things you get to have is over the years, you get to look back at what you wanted and you already have it, like one by one. And it's for me, I don't believe how many things I already have. Like straight up, I don't have to want them anymore. I can just go downstairs right there. There it is. It's not a want, it's my possession. And I always say, you guys, you need to have that kind of vision, that kind of mentality. So I don't want you to quit. I'm aware that people do quit, and I'm really sad when they do. But I want you to keep on going. And the best way is to understand why you're starting. As long as you know that and you treat yourself as a human being, you're going to be okay. But if you don't, if you're just like, I'm just going to keep it in my head, that's it, and I'm not going to talk to people about it, I'm going to do it all by myself, no, that's a crash and burn. Not going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
So, yeah, you need to be with other people. That's the way this works.
Don't try to do this alone, gentlemen.
Don't do it alone. No, don't do it all. That you need to be with other people. But if you do it, you'll be fine. All of my students I've always put them in groups. That's just the way it is.
All right, guys. I know it's late, guys. I know it's after 1 o'clock where many of you are out east. Appreciate you guys being here with Theo. We appreciate Theo being here once again. Thank you very much for all the information, all the knowledge, all the insights, the support that you give with the channel and the brand. Every time we see you on somebody's live stream, you always have great information to share. Sometimes I don't know how you keep so much energy going in all the things that you do, but we appreciate you more than you realize, Theo, man. You are one of those people, man. You rare, bruh. You are rare dude on this planet because you do so much for so many.
I like again, thank you for what you're saying. I like that you're actually on every night because you give me a little bit of hope. You are married, you are abroad, you have what I had, right?
Right.
And instead of it just being a memory and something that I can rationalize out, you have it right there in front of me and it's on my computer.
Right.
And I have to deal with it, right? Like, he has what you want, Theo. Like, you had it before. So do you want to just lose your life here in Austin, or are you going to get your butt to the airport, send your equipment on the boat?
Mm-hmm. There you go.
And actually do it. And I have to remember that. So when you come out and you start talking, even when you get angry with people, you're like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, you're probably talking to me. Like, I understand. Like,
I just be talking in general.
No, but I'm like, yeah, that's really for me. I get it. I know it's for other people too, but they're feeling it. I'm feeling it. Or like, yeah, we're yelling at people. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. So we kind of need that, But I think the manosphere in itself, look at the Black manosphere, needs to see a happily married Black man abroad who is living under his own power and happy. Mm-hmm. Notice how you always smile, except on a boat. You're always happy. Right? Like your smile is really good. I don't really smile. Like I saw my photos from Japan. I got these huge smiles. You have it. You've got like these big smiles. I have like a partial smile. Listen, it goes away quickly. You're like, yeah, I got something to live for. I'm like, yeah.
That's it. That's it. No longer in the Matrix.
Yeah. So I want you to keep on broadcasting. So you get Cali, Columbia. Be happy. Conclave, 2027. So we have to do that Afro thing first in August, and then go to the Conclave.
True. Absolutely correct. I know exactly what you're talking about. All right, Theo, make sure you get you some sleep, man. I don't have to let you go off the screen. Make sure you get you some rest, relaxation.
I will.
All
Thanks,
right.
man. I'll talk to you later. Talk to you later.
Yes, sir. All right, gentlemen, we're about to head up out of here. I'm not going to keep you guys long. I'm going to just go do one outro video with one of the cowgirls. But, man, this has been encouraging. I hope you guys picked up a lot. And I purposely did this live stream thinking about us. Not just me, not just Theo, but thinking about us who are students or future students in cloud engineering. And like I said, sometimes we can focus so much on the classwork segment of it or the business segment of it that we forget just to feel encouraged about what we're doing, even when we feel nervous. Shout out to Ronin Travels being here. That means that it's afternoon where you are. Shout out to you, or on its way to be afternoon. So shout out to where you are out there. And shout out to my man I am FF in the building. Shout out to you being here. And let's get this outro video going. You guys have a great day. I'll be seeing you guys mañana, tomorrow evening, with another live stream. Let me get this outro video going. Let's see. Let me scroll here. And I hope those links to those websites to do projects helped you guys out quite a bit. So let's go right here. Let's just keep it simple.